Alright. Alright. Oh, that's the wrong size. Oops. There we go. Okay, can everyone see me? Oh, this is a bad choice. Give me a second. Everything done last minute. Oh, that was weird. I was set up and everything ready to go, and all of a sudden my computer started lagging. I'm like, what's happening, laptop of mine? And it's just like, oh, I decided to overheat. I'm like, that's weird. So we are live now, though. How's everyone's days going? Hope it's going well. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning, Uni. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Night Livestream. Your host here, animefanrk2k. Playing more of the Fruit of Grisaia. We are about to hopefully complete the Amane route either today or next week. I sound so done. Oh man, it's been a long weekend, not gonna lie. For various reasons, both good and bad. So I had the day off, been watching anime. Just here to play some Fruit of Grisaia. I know, even Shade before was asking if I was like, if I was tired or not. I'm like, I am actually, I'm very tired, but the show must go on. Yeah, no, it was just a very busy weekend for me. Like, busy at work for the week, busy weekend for the fact that I had like friends over the weekend, and was participating in card game tournaments Saturday and Sunday all day. So it's just a little tired. Today, today I finally got a little bit of R&R, but I don't sleep much, so not much more. Some relaxation, not necessarily more rest. And but we're here. And yeah, let's get right on it. The Fruit of Grisaia. Maybe the conclusion of the Amane route tonight. We'll see. This is one hell of a story. I raise my eyes from the diary, reflexively staring up at Amane's face. Her eyes are downcast, her mouth twisted sorrowfully.
Ne, Yuji wa kodoku tte shitteru?
Cockroaches. From what I've read about them, they're incredibly durable creatures. They can last for weeks without food and sometimes cannibalize each other.
私はね、毒虫を詰め込んだ壺の中から生き残った最強最悪の毒虫なのよ。
Yo, I disagree with that, Amane. Because clearly in your flashback, you're one of the few that didn't relegate yourself down and lose your humanity. Can't find anything to say. I'm so sorry. That must have been terrible. Gone through something similar myself. The comparison would be unfair. The paths we followed to that point were far too different. Even so, I understand. Thrown abruptly into a rain-soaked hell without adequate food, unable to imagine what tomorrow will bring, your physical and emotional strength are slowly whittled down. The one wobbling on their feet have a week. The ones sitting, 5 days. The ones lying down, 3. The ones that can't speak, 2. The ones that can't blink will be dead before the sun sets. some point, you've lost energy to dig graves for your companions, sleep next to the rotting corpses of your friends. Yeah, well, you know, it's the difference between people who have gone through it and who have not. Seeing hell and not, you know. I feel bad for Amane. It's true. Like I don't know what to say. Like I do feel bad about it. Hell on earth, yeah. Precisely because I understand, I have no words to offer her. I seek refuge in the tattered diary in my hands. Returning home as the only survivor of that horrific accident, my reception wasn't what you'd call gentle. The media widely discussed the incident and its miraculous survivor, spicing up their articles with a barrage of thoughtless and downright cruel speculation. Hey, yeah, Ilya, not gonna lie. Not the happiest moment. Okay, that's as insensitive as a bus full of middle school children crashing off a cliff. While never publishing my actual name, many twisted their limited information to suggest my survival had come at the cost of my humanity. I was a social problem of the hour. When I returned to school after recovering my physical strength, a classmate thrust a weekly magazine in my face. It was open to a gory photograph of the crash scene as it had been discovered. Hey, this corpse! This is Hiroka's face, isn't it? Poor girl, so tell me something. Why were you the only one who survived? Everyone else died. Why are you the only one who came back? Of course, at that age, the gruesome and bizarre have an irresistible pull. At first, the words might have been nothing but curiosity, carrying no ill intent. At first, they might not have even realized their own casual cruelty. Hey, when Nep's not here to make them, somebody has to make those jokes. Sorry, it's dark humor. Should not joke about it, considering they're literally thrusting it in Amane's face right now. That first question opened the floodgates. Soon the entire class was hurling questions at me, mostly for their own amusement. Hey, you ate them, didn't you? Base speculation always runs along predictable lines. Better the titillating fiction than the complicated truth. How can she live with herself? It makes me want to puke. I wouldn't have done it in a million years. Some things are more important than staying alive. I'd rather starve to death. Just seeing her face makes me lose my appetite. I hope she transfers soon. Soon they spoke with undisguised hatred. That is a terrible joke, I agree. My denials fell on deaf ears, and I stopped even trying. In their eyes I was a cockroach, a vicious, durable insect. Inside the confines of the killing jar, I had killed my own kind to survive, and now I had crawled back to safety all alone. It quickly became impossible for me to attend school normally. For long, a special classroom was prepared for me to study alone. The administration's attempt at resolving the problem was half-hearted and passive. Essentially, they isolated me from my classmates, leaving my former homeroom teacher to take care of any problem that might arise. But since their main concern was minimizing further disruption, the choice made sense. Unfortunately, that teacher was a kind woman who offered me warm encouragement. It's alright. As long as you're alive, you can start again, as many times as it takes. I'm here for you. I'll be here as long as it takes. So please keep trying, okay? Her words pulled me through some of the blackest days. She was right. My survival had come at the cost of many, many sacrifices. I had to keep going, for the sake of those who had died, for the people who still believed in me. But eventually, I was made to realize these innocent thoughts were founded on nothing more than childish naivety. Yeah. Half a year after the accident, I moved up to the next grade in a new homeroom. The teacher had treated me so kindly abruptly stopped her little therapy sessions. Her attitude changed. The sympathy left her eyes. In the end, her kindness had been nothing more than the professional mask of an adult doing her job. That realization hurt me more deeply than any of the lies or insults ever had. Aw, that sucks. After yet another day of isolated misery in an empty classroom, I returned home to find the words cockroach nest scrawled in huge letters across the side of my house. My mom was crouched beside the graffiti with a bucket and a brush, tears in her eyes as she desperately tried to clean it off. Her teeth were tightly clenched, as if to keep the sobs inside. They made her cry. They made my stout-hearted mom weep as miserably as a child. Hit by a wave of an inexpressible, overwhelming sadness, I fell to my knees on the spot. Is other people's misery really that much fun to you? The reality had nothing to do with it. They weren't even trying to look at the truth. All they wanted was an interesting story, and my suffering seemed to be highly entertaining to them. Yeah, it sucks. I could endure the slander and abuse, but at this rate I would end up becoming a blight on my own family. I simply couldn't take anymore. What did I survive for anyway? This? If I just died with everyone else in that valley, none of this would have happened. I wanted to turn back time. I wanted to go back into that ravine, to redo it all from the very start. I could see nothing in my future, so I fantasized about the past. It's even worse because in a collectivist society such as like an Asian society, basically, if you are a blemish against your family, you are a blemish against your entire family. That people will be like, oh, but they had a bad daughter, or they had a terrible son, or their father's an alcoholic. That family is no good. Like, it's really dumb. Basically, one person's misactions can ostracize the entirety of the family. If your standing is not like of certain standards, you know, you can't just be like, oh well, they're the dark horse. Clearly, they're the only one. No, it's not that easy. Luckily or not, in a Western culture, it's a lot different. You know, a lot of people go, oh man, I hope. I mean, it's still a media circus. Like, don't get me wrong. It will still be a media circus. But you know, almost 9 times out of 10, it'll be like, wow, this person's terrible. And depending on, like, the nature of the crime or the incident or whatever, be like, and he was so good. We feel so bad for the family. But even if they're making a media circus out of said family, you know, with fake sympathy. Yeah, so it's like, it's tough. Life is tough. People suck. That's why we're here, though. See, fantasize about the past, she said. Even so, I resigned myself to the present. I accepted the ridicule and ostracism of those around me. I stepped over the bodies of my friends to save myself. Surely I needed some punishment for that. Of course, no one was going to object to my suffering. It was the least I deserved. I could prostrate myself weeping in front of my friends' graves all I wanted. No one was going to forgive me that easily. Until I had suffered more than those who had died, no one would approve of my continued existence. This was my punishment for surviving. It should not be a punishment for surviving either in this kind of situation. I accepted it. I knew that I couldn't expect clemency. But even so, I desperately needed someone to give me the hope that it might end, that someday I might be forgiven. Self-loathing was my only means of atonement, and it was a feeble counterweight against the sin I was committing with every breath I drew. I was gradually driven into a corner. How wonderful would it have been to run from it all, to shed the weight of what I had done. But the punishment for surviving was impossible to escape. I had no choice but to bear it. I tried to be strong. I tried to act cheerfully in the face of it all, but it was so very hard. The slightest smile on my face would inspire condemnation. How can she laugh after what happened? Hey, no problem, Casserolo. You were here before, though, so it's okay. And, yeah, we'll, BRB, yeah, no problem. If I ran away from their words, they condemned that as well. My crimes would never be forgiven. Every once in a while, I dreamed at night. Always the same nightmare. Always in the same place, the depths of that hellish jungle. In the gloomy forest, the girls from the basketball club sat on the roots of trees, still and quiet. One by one, they slowly died. Corpses lay against the trunks of the trees, swelling up with gas like gruesome balloons. Their faces had been bloated from the start by their severe malnutrition. Soon it was impossible to tell where their eyes had been. Eventually their mouths creaked open, the gas inside their bodies began to leak out into the humid air with a sound like a ghostly moan. No, King. The problem is, in the flashback, those who are still alive did worse. Everyone but Kazuki, who also retained her sanity and humanity, and is actually the reason why Amane survived. Before long, those faint sounds would become voices. Amane, Amane, help me, Amane. I don't want to die, Amane. It hurts so much, Amane. Why only you? Why, Amane? Why won't you help me? Hey, Amane! I lost count of how many times I've woken up screaming in the middle of the night. Going to sleep had become terrifying, but even awake I could hear the voices whispering in my ear. The voices of my friends calling my name. When I turned back, there was no one. Even so, I heard the whispers constantly. I wonder if she ever heard Kazuki's voice. Because it sounds like she's not hearing Kazuki's voice right now. Asleep or awake, someone was always cursing me. My guilt was ever present, crushing. I had no refuge. In time, I lost the ability to distinguish between reality and my dreams. Even awake, I screamed at phantoms. Sometimes I thought about just dying, but I couldn't commit suicide. If I took my own life, I'd be branded for all eternity as a coward who fled from the punishment her actions had earned. Maybe someone would be so kind as to kill me instead? A random violent death at another's hand might well be my only possible salvation. If someone killed me, I could escape without having fled from my responsibility. If someone would only punish me. Yes, that was it. Every time someone harassed or tormented me, it felt as though the weight of my sins on my shoulders grew a little lighter. If I could live my life entirely for someone else's sake, maybe someday I'd be forgiven. But for that role, I needed someone who would punish me for the sin of surviving. So that's when moments of happiness found me. When I laughed, I could simply offer a silent apology to the dead. I need someone who would give me an excuse for when the voices whisper in my ear. I need an answer to the resentful curses. See, I'm getting exactly what I deserve. I absolutely needed that. In the end, I wasted years and years of my life waiting for someone who could bring me that hollow, self-serving comfort.
そんな時、私に罰を与えるのにふさわしい男が現れた。
Man, you chose the wrong person. The one guy who will not fault you for surviving.
私を助けるために自分を犠牲にした風見一樹。その風見一樹の弟、遺族、それがユージだったんだよ。
Oh man.
ずっと黙っててごめんね、ユージ。
Man, Nep, we already made that joke.
私はね、あんたのお姉ちゃんを犠牲にして生き残った惨めな卑怯者なんだよ。ごめんなさい。
Still staring into my eyes, Amane sniffles miserably. I see. My body feels as stiff and wooden as the words coming out of my mouth. It takes all my effort just to nod. I understand. Some sins can never be forgiven. No matter how many times we apologize, the dead can never come back.
ずっと言おうと思ってたんだよ。謝ろうと思ってた。でも言えなかった。
Oh, this scene always gets to you.
私ね、事故の後、一度だけ和樹の家に行ったことがあるの。
Oh.
家族の人には本当のことを全部話そうって思ってた。信じてもらえなくても、ひどく責められても構わない。でも一言謝りたいってずっと思ってた。でも和樹の家には誰もいなかった。
House was empty.
近所の人に話を聞いたら、1年も前にご両親が離婚されて、それからずっと空き家だって。離婚の原因は和樹が事故で死んだからだって聞かされた。
Oh, so we're starting to see what happened with a little bit of like Yuji, because like he described his life as very different than having parents and stuff.
私がユージの家族をめちゃくちゃにしちゃったんだって、そう思ったら怖くて言い出せなかったんだよ。
Man, I'm honest, like, she's taking way too much credit for this. Like, let's be honest, girl. You survived because Kazuki ordered you to. Kazuki died because she chose you to be the survivor this incident. It's as simple as that. It's not a it's so hard to, like, how do you just flat out tell someone, you know, it's okay. It's okay to be alive. It's as simple as that. Man, Amane is not even my favorite girl. And I want to be like, we have to give this girl some solace and comfort. This ending better be freaking happy. I'm going for the good ending first. I know that there's one last choice before it's all said and done. True enough, Kazuki's death was the catalyst of my parents' divorce. I tell them bluntly. Yeah, I'd probably yell at people. Shade. If you're spoiling something, you better not be. But what came after? The real disintegration of my family? That was inevitable. My father's death and my mother's suicide were inescapable fated events. Amane had nothing to do with any of that. And either way, making her into a scapegoat won't change the past.
だから、私がユージと初めて会った時、私は思ったの。私がユージからお姉ちゃんを奪ってしまったのなら、だったらせめて和樹の代わりになろうって。
Man, you make it.
そう思ったの。
Although, actually, you know what? Now, looking at Amane at this very moment, she actually is very Kazuki-like in some of her actions. She's very perceptive of people and their emotions and what they're thinking and their moods. So, like, Amane has actually kind of achieved, like a fraction of Kazuki's, I guess, presence. Because Kazuki basically dominated that flashback. King, actually, I believe I said at first, Amane did try to tell everyone the truth of things that happened, but no one really cared.
私なんかじゃ和樹の代わりにはならない。そんなのは私に都合がいいだけの逃げだってそう分かっていても、他にできることなんてなかった。
Oh yeah, Uni, you might have missed something. The flashbacks got pretty crazy.
だから何を言われても逆らわない。優しいお姉ちゃんになろうって。そう決めた。ユージが望むなら何でもしてあげようって思った。
Welcome back, Ilya. We're still going through sad moments in the present day. King, it wasn't only the teacher, it was the teacher and the captain. Because they're so low on rations, they quote unquote found animals and captured them and cooked the meat. Quote unquote. That too. That happened, Shade. Yes. Heavily implied. Oh, yeah. Well, no. It wasn't heavily implied. It was flat out stated by Amane. Oh, I didn't know they're in that type of relationship. And Kazuki's like, open your eyes, damn it. It's a lot worse than that. I censor on my end. And luckily, as this is a Steam version, it was a much more mellow picture I got of it. But I think for the most part they didn't censor the dialogue, and that made it pretty terrible.
キスされるぐらいどうってことない。それ以上望まれても断るつもりはなかった。何をされても絶対に文句は言わない。ユージが望むなら何でもしてあげようって思った。
Here's the thing. I would only recommend you go back and watch if you know full well that it's gonna be gruesome. It's not gonna be a fun time, to put it lightly. It's gonna be hard to stomach, like emotionally. It's rough. It's kind of like, you know, that we basically told you what happened, but it's like, do you want to go back and experience it? And that's what it comes down to. So yeah, if you do, you know, I would take the time, do it in a day. Make sure you have like, you know, something you like, after. That, I believe it's very wrong to pop her boner during the flashback. The anime of it makes it worse. Well, I have to watch the Fruit of Grisaia anime, but after I go through all the routes and stuff. Wow. Well, that was a timeout. This is why you need my moderator, Nep.
抱かれるぐらいどうってことない。どうせ一度は諦めた命だし、和樹の代わりに生き残った命だもん。私はユージの本当のお姉ちゃんじゃない分、本当のお姉ちゃんにはできないこともしてあげようって決めたの。
I commented on it earlier. Just go back and rewatch the live stream when it goes up. I don't know, Amane. Kazuki might have already been doing some stuff. What? Hold on, Amane. I want to make sure I'm clear on something. In other words, you approach me out of a sense of responsibility, not any romantic feelings? Admit it. Admit it! I'm not going to get angry about it at this point. Give me the honest truth.
正直に言うとね、別にユージのことは嫌いではないけど、好きというほどのめり込んでいるわけでもなかった。
Well, that feels bad, bro.
都合のいい女でいてあげるのが私の罰だって、そう思ってた。
Man, you must feel like shit.
生き残った罰としては全然軽いと思ってた。
Yeah, but if you don't love him.
それでもユージに抱かれると少し気分が軽くなった。
Oh, wait. She admitting that, well, I kind of do though.
ユージに抱かれるたびに私は自分の中の罪が軽くなっていくような気がしたの。私にとってのユージは後ろめたさを埋めるための道具でしかなかった。
Are you saying that he made you feel good? I see. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. So this is the source of that unease I could never manage to shake. This is why I couldn't get rid of that lingering doubt, always squirming in the back of my mind. 3 is downright hilarious. Well, I look forward to that too. I don't know many women prone to falling in love with virtual strangers. Over time, I'd halfway convinced myself Amane was just a special case. But as I suspected from the start, there was something else behind all that.
でもね、こんなこと言ってもきっと信じてくれないと思うけど、私ユージのこと本当に好きになっちゃったんだよ。
Now is it a real I love you?
それじゃダメなんだよ。それじゃ罰じゃなくなっちゃう。気がつけば収まってた悪夢とか幻覚とか幻聴がまた復活して みんなが私を責めるんだよ。
Okay, okay, so
またお前だけ幸せになるのかって。
at the very least, Amane is admitting that she actually does feel happy with Yuji and stuff, and that she did really fall in love with him, and that's why she feels more guilty about it now. Oh, that would explain. Okay.
もっとずっと強い罰が必要なのに、これ以上ユージを好きになっちゃダメなのに。
Oops, I accidentally fell in love with you. Damn it.
どんなに好きになっても私の行く場所にユージを連れてはいけない。私一人で行かなければいけないのに。
I mean, come on. It's just Hokkaido. Wait, what?
もうこれで最後にしよう。本当のことを打ち明けてこの人とは別れようっていつもそう思うのに。
Back to the stream, please.
次の日の朝に目を覚ませば、もう一日だけ明日になったら別れを切り出そうって思うようになって。
Oh, she tried to
いつの
break
間に
up.
かずるずると
Trying to break up the relationship because she felt guilty.
怖かったんだよ。何度もあんたのお姉ちゃんを見殺しにしたのは私だよって言おうと思った。そう口にしてしまいたかったのに。
Usually be like, wait, hold on. You have to explain it. And then the diary would have happened in due time anyway. I see.
でもそれを口にすればきっとユージは私の前からいなくなる。
I'm pretty sure Yuji would be like, please explain?
どんなに謝っても私が見捨てた和樹は生き返らない。だからごめんね。
So in other words, wait, is Yuji actually, is his thought processes and stuff at a loss for words? Amazing. See? This happens sometimes, guys. Also, pardon me, I'm just plugging my controller in. I was on my PS4 before. So just plug in the controller. Just don't mind me. There you go. Charge controller. Oh. So in other words, she went in reluctantly, but now she's pretty much enjoying herself. In the first place, why are Amane's romantic feelings the first thing on my mind here? 'Cause you like her in this route, Yuji. My sister, my family. All that is just a messy, ugly pain in the ass. In the end, I think I'm much more concerned about what comes next. Times like these, the fundamental strategy is to hear out the woman's story and throw in a few vague responses here and there. But I think I may need to say something pretty soon.
ねえユージ。
Nothing like dark humor? Yes?
私を殺してくれない。
Probably not. Say what?
私はこんなことでしか罰を受けられない。こんなことでしか許しを得られない。だったらもうユージに殺してもらうしかないの。ごめんね。
The hell are you talking about? Have you gone soft in the head? just BAM! Hit her in the head. You expect me to kill someone who squeals like a piglet over a single chop to the head? Don't make me laugh.
ごめんね。
That's another thing. Stop with the damn I'm sorry, will you? Can't stand that phrase. Those were the final words my mother left for me before her suicide. Utterly empty, barren words. Words of surrender. Every time I hear that phrase, I remember myself the way I was. I remember my failure, my inability to act, and my chest throbs painfully. First off, don't try to mimic Kazuki, alright? I only had one sister and she's gone now. Or what? Do you enjoy ripping open my old scars or something? This I'm sorry chorus of yours is putting me in a lousy mood. Hey, Amane, didn't you have the same problem with Kazuki? I'm telling you to stop that, idiot. I mean, weren't you Kazuki's classmate? Didn't she ever tell you not to say sorry so damn much? Oh, snap. Very well, then. Allow me to increase your repertoire of phrases. You mush-brained parrot. Repeat after me. Thank you. Every time you feel a sorry crawling up your throat, change it to a thank you before it gets out of your mouth. That's your punishment. Don't even think about dropping your apologies on me. Arbitrarily deciding you've been forgiven and flying off into the night. Got that? Oh yeah, no, Shade. He already mentioned in his thing before about the fact that his family part was like whatevs, you know. We're just rolling with it. Because he already said that his father died in an accident and his mother committed suicide. You really are a dim-witted woman, you know that? Ugh. God damn it! How am I supposed to explain this? Christ, I'm just as dim-witted. Yuji is still amazing. Let me think for a while. You're a distraction, woman! Go sit on your heels and reflect on your idiocy. I'm going to get my thoughts together. Sit! What? I know it's a serious moment, but that exchange is very much funny. To be honest, so much just got dumped on me at once that my head can't keep up. What am I supposed to think about all this? First, there's Amane's past. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I don't give a shit. From what I read in the diary, she did nothing wrong. Kazuki's decision was understandable. I probably would have done the same thing in her place. I mean, I think we already know that Amane is basically a pet dog in terms of ideology. Especially from the flashback. Basically, Kazuki's, basically follow Kazuki's every word. If anything, Kazuki's at fault for enjoying that nice heroic death, leaving all the messy, angsty business of surviving to her friend. For one thing, I'm still not fully convinced Kazuki would die as easily as that. But either way, it's not the problem. The past is the past. Nothing can be done about any of that now. You can spit out as many what-ifs and if-onlys as you want, but unless you're using them as reference for next time, it's meaningless exercise. The only thing that matters now is what we do next. Amane! Amane! Amane equals Inuyasha. Sit boy! That makes Yuji Kagome, which is kind of true because he's kind of tsundere and moody. Alright guys, we have just ruined the Fruit of Grisaia. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All said and done. You love me, yes? Confirm or deny? Very well. Sit! Amane says she loves me. So how about my own feelings on the matter? Thought them over many, many times. Pretty damn sure by now. I love Amane. I'm a bit ashamed to say it. Me too! I'm also a bit ashamed to say it, Yuji, because I like Michiru better. But that's me, animefanrk2k. Not you in the route that's going to the Amane ending. Wait, what? I'm a bit ashamed to say it, but on a purely practical basis, I doubt there's another woman in the world as convenient as her. Then again, is that really all there is to it? As I fold my arms in thought, I find my eyes have come to rest on a beautifully folded work uniform. My job is pretty rough on the clothes. They snag on thorny bushes, rip against walls, and drag along the ground. More often than not, I come back with a number of holes in my uniform. It was only a few days ago that I realized those holes were being repaired. Out on a job, I happened to glance at the elbow of my uniform where a torn seam had been neatly stitched back together. A colleague, noticing as I stared at the careful needlework, asked, "Your wife sewed that up for you?" And the words, "Guess so," slipped out of my mouth. Startled by my own reply, I thought long and hard about what Amane was to me. Lee gasped. Machina is preferred. What? No, Michiru. Michiru. Matsushima Michiru. Don't forget her. Don't forget the fake Soon. Don't forget the fake Soon with the dyed blonde hair. I don't like no lollies. Did I read that line? Let me go back. I'll start by my own reply. I thought long and hard about what Amane was to me. While wearing the clothes she mended for me and stuffing my mouth with the lunch she packed for me, I pondered the matter. There you go. Almost missed that. Poor Michiru. Never forgetty. Rip spaghetti. What about Amane had I fallen in love with anyway? Her looks? True, she was definitely an attractive woman from any angle. The long hair and nice scent didn't hurt either. She accepted everything I did without a word of complaint, and she was up for anything, anytime. But at the end of the day, I don't think that had much to do with it. I can't express it too well, but what really stood out was the way she mended my clothes without a word, and the way she always made a lunch for me. Right, she always did so much for me. Amane worked as hard as she could to make one dull man's life a little less miserable, and it made me happy. Even if Amane had been unbelievably ugly, I would have fallen for her. Yeah, but hell, she looks good, right? Anyway, by the same token, whatever happened in the past, I'm not going to stop loving her. That feeling isn't going anywhere no matter what. Nothing. Shut your trap. Still thinking. Still sitting ramrod straight on her heels, Amane's face droops like a pouting puppy giving the command to wait. Studying her comically forlorn expression, I move on to consider the final problem. I can simply tell her, "You're forgiven," on the spot, but there's no way that would resolve the issue. If anything, my forgiveness might well inspire her to go looking for a new punishment, driving her to erratic, even dangerous behavior. In that case, alright, Amane, the matter's been decided. On your feet. Nani? Right then. I'll help you up. Here. Yeah, man, it stinks when you have to stand up on your feet are numb. Thought this over pretty carefully, but let me make one thing clear first. I don't intend to take pity on you because of your past. Everyone has a regret or two. It's a natural part of being alive. That said, I also understand yours is a particularly complicated, painful one. Telling you forget it or don't worry about it would be a waste of breath. Remorse that deep isn't just going to stop tormenting you. Might well end up carrying it on your shoulders for the rest of your life. And this idea that your current good deeds can somehow redeem you for what happened in the past is a load of self-serving crap. You've got no choice but to receive your punishment for the rest of your life. I'm not really old or wise enough to say that's life, like some sort of authority on the matter. But at the very least, I think I'm better accustomed to living with suffering than you. Therefore, I will now arrogantly throw my conclusion in your face. Accept it gratefully. I'm pretty sure Amane's not picky on the position. You asked me to kill you just now, right? Not attached to your life? I think that's what Yuji wanted to hear. I see, alright, I accept. From this moment forth, you're going to live the rest of your life for my sake. It's just some crappy life you picked up off the ground in the mountains, right? Can't be worth that much to you. I'll take it off your hands. What now? You have a problem? Too bad. You gave your life to me, so I can do whatever the hell I want with it. You have no right to complain. Nothing explained. Nothing really is going to change. Just keep doing what you're doing. Live for my sake. Devote yourself to me. I'm the king. You're my pet dog. Got it? Do you have a wad of marshmallow fluff for a brain? Fine. I'll put it even more simply and rudely. God damn you! How dare you leave my sister to die? I'll never forgive you! You're my slave for life, understood? If you understand, bark like a dog, you filthy mutt! I'm gonna stay with me for the rest of your life. That's your punishment.
しかして私ずっとユージのそばにいてもいいの？
Just answer this question. Not only can you, you're going to. Smack you silly if you try to disappear on me. Keep that in mind. What now? Just crying. Spit it out already. Also, I'm not a submachine gun. Guys, please stop doing shit and saying shit with each other. Whoops. You know something? You always make this ridiculously ugly face when you cry. There. Okay, this is getting annoying already. I'll allow you 5 minutes maximum. You're so not nice. If I was nice, I'd hardly be a punishment. As Amane breaks down into tears, I wrap my arms around her and hug her tightly to my chest. There's only one way I can save this woman, and it's not by trying to break the curse of her past. I'll simply accept everything. Knowing her past, knowing her trauma, I'll accept it all. I'll provide her with the punishment she needs. There's no other way. Someday Amane will surely come to understand. The only person she needs to ask for forgiveness is herself. Until then, I'll be a burden for her to bear. I'll ease her guilt. I'll be her punishment. I'll offer her forgiveness, even if no one else in the world does. No matter what anyone says, I'll give her absolution. If I simply stay by her side, someday, her penance will reach its end. I know it will. The day will surely come when Amane can forgive herself. Aww. Aww. That was not the right time to say that, King. But you know, that was good. That was good. I like how he resolved it too. And we have to keep continuing because this doesn't lead to the end, guys. Even after those revelations, there haven't been any major changes in my life with Amane. The only real differences that come to mind, Amane has calmed down on the physical clinginess, and I've started to notice subtle shifts in her emotions. From what Sakaki tells me, this has been going on frequently even before now, but when something happy or fun happens, Amane tends to get a slightly brooding look on her face. Now that I understand these signs of her self-reproach and guilt for what they are, I admonish her, you're allowed to smile. Sometimes I outright order her to do so. And although I know she's still thinking, a cowardly insect like me has no right to be happy, she always managed to give me a sweet, artful smile in response. Amane once told me I had a crappy excuse for a smile. Now I understand why she saw through it so easily. She's a far more experienced master of the forced smile. Might sound like a joke, but it seems that Taki's own private academy actually had formal lessons on how to push your face into an elegant smile. Kazuki had always been even worse at smiling than I was. Imagining her desperately trying to contort her face into a friendly simper is absurdly amusing. Hey Amane, tell me something. That smiling lesson or whatever, I assume Kazuki participated in it as well?
どうだろう。私 D 組だったから A 組の和樹とは授業が一緒になることはなかったし。
Heh. Just thinking about it makes you laugh. Kazuki curtsying politely in time to the teacher's piano with a beaming smile on her face. I think I paid money to see that.
確かに。っていうか、和樹のそんな姿を見たら逆に笑えないような気もするけどね。
I mean, that's right. Come to think of it, when Kazuki was still a grade schooler, I did see her practicing her smile once.
嘘？あの和樹が？
Not sure when this was exactly, but Kazuki came to deliver something I'd forgotten to my classroom. A classmate came up to me afterward and asked me about her. Why is your big sister always so cranky? This kind of scared little voice. Of course I said, that's just normal for her. When I returned home, I told Kazuki one of the kids in my class thinks you're kind of scary. Guess it was a little bit of a shock even for her. She started practicing her smile in front of a mirror after her bath. Funny, right?
そう
You're allowed to smile yourself, you know, or even laugh.
分かってる。もう笑って話せる時期だってのは分かってるんだけどね。
Nobent? What's a nobent, Casarola? Nope, not. Smiling is the duty of those who are left behind. Please try.
でも私、和樹のことを思い出すとやっぱり。
No good, huh? From reading the contents of Amane's diary, I understand that she worshipped Kazuki like a god. Odds are, giving her my standard order to smile now would only worsen her suffering. To be honest, the topic of my sister still stings a bit for me as well. But I guess I've developed my own way of coping with it. Amane, tell me something. Do you really believe Kazuki's dead?
それってどういう意味?
Exactly what it sounds like. To be honest, I don't really buy it. Certainly she's dead on paper, and they did find something that was thought to be Kazuki's corpse at the site. But I just can't believe she died that easily.
それは私だって信じたくはないけど。
I'm going to get into slightly gruesome territory here, alright? The corpse of Kazuki they found on the site had been cut to pieces. You know that as well, right? But for some reason they never found her head. What do you think of that? Oh, because the head leaves behind like dental records and stuff they can identify the body with. She gave you a hint herself, didn't she? Long time ago, Kazuki told me about a swindle where carefully cutting and pasting makes 10,000 yen notes into 11 slightly smaller ones. And she showed you a similar trick with 11 carats. Corpses aren't any different. Just as an example, if you happen to have 10 of them lying around, you could probably make 11, don't you think?
嘘。だってそんなことが人間と人参は違うよ。
Yeah, but if people have also been cannibalizing people, not to Kazuki they aren't. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you get away with it.
和樹は生きてるの?
I don't know that. If she is alive, why hasn't she shown herself to us? It's all a mystery. But there's one thing I'm confident about. I don't think Kazuki would accept death that easily. And she always did have a number of personalities, characters she played, but now she might well be casually going about her business somewhere as a totally different person. Can't shake that feeling. The zombie! At the time, 13 corpses were discovered at the crash site. Many of them had been horribly damaged, but the numbers matched. The investigators didn't have any reason to be suspicious, and the corpses were roughly identifiable. There was no point in DNA testing. Given the dismembered, partially consumed state of many of the bodies, a few missing parts wouldn't have inspired any serious doubts. Of course, Kazuki's head was never discovered. When they discovered the corpses, they did investigate the cause of death, but there was no DNA testing performed. Maybe. Maybe she's a zombie. Maybe it's Maybelline. Really, guys? Maybelline? No, I'm just saying it's possible to think that way. It's not like I have any real evidence.
でも、和樹は言ったよ。私は死なないって。いつか必ずまた会えるからって。確かに言ってた。
Right, but look, Amane, I'm not seriously trying to push this theory on you. All I meant was, thinking Kazuki might still be alive somewhere might help you find the courage to... You're not listening to a word I say, are you? Hold on, where are you going all of a sudden? Apparently remembering something, Amane dashes off as if stung by a whip. Follow her as she flies up the stairs, throws open the door to her room, begins rummaging around vigorously in her closet. I think Shade said it, yeah. Hello, Amane? Amane-san, anyone home? Huh, what's this? Pulling out a storage case that had been carefully tucked away in the back of her closet, Amane takes out a sheaf of yellowed memo paper, wrinkled and stained by patches of dried mud. Even at a glance, I immediately recognized the familiar handwriting lining those pages. That's Kazuki's writing, isn't it? Kazuki just doesn't exist. She's just a magical girl in like some spin-off game somewhere. That's all. Take the leaves of paper probably ripped out of a small notepad from Amane's hand. First, there's a rough map of the area around the camp, no doubt the product of Kazuki's independent investigations. She also included a number of methods to ascertain directions within the forest, including orientation by the stars. If your path ahead seems overly difficult, don't hesitate to take a detour. And when you think your physical strength may be failing you, take a rest. Use the time to discard items from your rucksack, beginning with the heavy and inessential. The soil is full of volcanic rock and dense minerals, so the tree roots are shallow and twisted. Also, their access to sunlight is irregular. For these reasons, the direction of their growth won't be a reliable navigational tool. Maintaining pressure on your ankles offers some relief from swelling. Wear 2 sets of socks and pull them to the calf. Your lactic acid buildup will be less severe. Just don't expect this to offer much protection against leeches. Very methodical. That's Kazuki for you. If you fail to escape, huh?
カズキが残したメモには脱出に失敗したら居留地に戻ってこいって書いてあって、カズキが非常食を隠した穴の位置が記された地図があったの。
I see. Judging from the fact that she wrote these notes, Kazuki must have known from the start there was a good chance she'd be making you escape alone.
きっとカズキはこうなることを予想してたんだと思う。
Then Kazuki specifically even said she wasn't happy she was right about it. But what made this come to mind all of a sudden?
あのさ、もしだよ。もしカズキが生きているとしたら、今カズキがどこにいるのかってヒントは
you're thinking
ここにあると思うんだよ。
so you're thinking if those rations are gone, she might have survived? Here? At the scene of the accident?
そう。カズキが私に最後に残したものってきっとこの非常食を埋めた穴の中にあるんじゃないかな。カズキは事故の翌日、シャベルを抱えて一人で森の中に入っていった。あれってバスの中から回収した食料とかを埋めに行ってたんだと思うんだ。カズキは時々一人でふっといなくなることがあって、ずいぶんトイレの近い子なんだなって思ってたけど、多分頻繁にその穴に何かを隠しに行ってたんじゃないかって。
Yeah, but do you think if someone made regular trips, no one would think it's suspicious? I see. That sounds like the only realistic possibility of finding any clue that might lead us to Kazuki.
そう。それに、もしカズキが死んでいたとしても、最後の遺品がそこに残されているってこと。
Oh.
ねえ、ユージ、行ってみない？
Go to the scene? That seems... I mean, you...
確かにまだきついかもしれない。苦しい思い出ばっかり詰まってる場所だしね。でもいつかは克服しなければいけないことだと思うし、それにユージが一緒に行ってくれるなら多分大丈夫だと思うんだ。
It's a lot of confidence you have in Yuji. I see.
まあちょっとしたデートだと思ってさ。悪いけど付き合ってよ。
Hey, where are we taking a date? To the scene of a crime! Yeah, alright. Of course, we do it in the summertime as well. Oh, wait, no. It's just... Oh, yeah, we are doing it. The very next morning, we borrowed the mini truck from the school, packed the box lunches Amane made, and readied ourselves to set off for the scene of the accident. At first, we planned to go by train, but the nearest station turned out to be more than 10 kilometers away from the mountain. Driving is far more convenient. The plan to make our way to the site, park in the lot at the foot of the mountain, and walk from there, but fortunately, there's apparently been a memorial erected on the site of the crash, which means a path up the mountain was created as well. We shouldn't have to worry about getting lost. When we first decided on this trip, I imagined a grueling hike through the woods. But it turns out the memorial is only 2.8 kilometers from the parking lot at the foot of the mountain. We don't need any particularly elaborate plans for the walk itself, but on an emotional level, some preparations are still necessary.
それじゃあ私、お供え用のお花とお線香を買ってくるから、ここで少し待ってて。
Yeah, I got it. Parking the mini truck near the Mishima Cape train station, Amane slowly lowers herself out of the driver's seat. Not that it's any surprise, but she seems a little awkward and subdued. Watching Amane walk off with purse in hand, dragging her feet like an exhausted office worker heading off to buy her a low-calorie lunch, I heave a little sigh. To be perfectly honest, it's not like I seriously believe Kazuki's alive. I'm sure it's the same for Amane. If anything, this visit to the scene of her ordeal has more to do with Amane facing her own memories head-on. I don't think this secret stash of Kazuki's is particularly meaningful. My hopes aren't exactly high for some sort of clue. I'm just praying we don't end up digging up something unpleasant. If Kazuki left her last will and testament or something in that hole, Amane might come out of this bearing even deeper wounds than before. Even so, it's been many years since the accident. For all this time, Amane has finally gained the courage to return. That feels like a significant change. Maybe she'll be able to start coming to terms with what happened. Maybe her burden will grow a little lighter. The point of visiting a grave is to bring comfort to those left behind. That's a firm belief of mine. I might have been a little too lost in thought. I didn't notice the man approaching until he was standing immediately behind me.
Kazami Yuji-san desu yo ne?
Yes? The man seemed to pop out of nowhere. Concealing my surprise, I turned slowly to face him. Did he just call me by name? Whoa, who is this suspicious individual? Let's find out. Not famous enough to be recognizable by random strangers on the street. Carefully observe his face, then look over his clothes from head to toe with a single sweep of my eyes. Man with a light build, most likely in his mid-40s. Don't recognize his face. Even though it's the middle of summer, he's wearing a windbreaker jacket as though headed out on a fishing trip. He's got a hunting cap on top of his noticeably graying hair, a beat-up old pair of long boots on his feet. In the whole, he leaves a pretty shabby impression. The cologne he's wearing isn't cheap, and the glasses on his face are a first-class name brand. I don't remember him as a local shop owner or anything, but if he's just some tourist come to fish in the sea, makes no sense that he know my name. Excuse me, but who are you?
Ottoto, desu yo ne? これは失礼。私は坂下と申しましてね。Amaneさんの大ファンなんですよ。
Amanes?
最近何ですか。Amaneさんに彼氏ができたと小耳に挟みましてね。一度お会いしてみたいなと思っておったのですよ。
Oh, you look like somebody who would either be, well, if you know Amane, media, paparazzi, right? Probably. Came here just to meet me?
いえいえいえいえ。今日ここでお会いしたのは偶然なんですけどね。たまたまAmaneさんとご一緒のところをお見かけしたもので、なぜか妙に嬉しくなってしまいましてね。ついお声をかけさせていただいたと、そういうことでして、はい。
Well, either paparazzi or private detective. One of two. One of two. I shouldn't immediately jump to the fact that they portrayed the media in a negative light and thus it must be a media man. Is that so? That's a load of crap. The story's dubious enough, but my intuition's telling me there's something insincere about this man. For one thing, he's forcing his mouth into a smile by jerking up the edges of his mouth. For another, his eyes are dark and cold, and there's a strange, superficial gleam floating on the surface. They resemble two deep wells of oil. The man stings. His body odor is normal enough, but something about him stings. It's a familiar, unpleasant smell that makes the back of my nose tingle ominously. Scent of bloodlust tinged with madness. Pardon me, but what do you do for a living?
まあ、こんな身なりですからね。わからんのも無理もない話ですな。
He has a portrait, he must be important? Yeah, that's how it works in most visual novel games.
ええ、実はつい最近まで IT 関連の会社の取締役をしてたのですが、どうにも生きがいというものをなくしてしまいましてね。
Oh yeah, third idea. He could be a stalker.
急に仕事がバカらしくなったとでも言いますか。今はご覧の通り恥ずかしながら無職の身でしてね。
Yeah, something still tells me you're lying, bro. I see. Who is he? At the very least, he doesn't seem to be involved in my line of work. The Face isn't familiar, but more importantly, he holds himself far too loosely for a pro. Even the Langley suits, who spend most of their time behind desks, project a little more menace than this.
それでもね、会社を畳んでみて初めて分かったことというものもありましてね。真っ白だった私の頭の中にぽつりと目標のようなものが浮かんできたんですわ。目標なんて言ったら少し大げさかもしれませんね。
You're fake.
なんと言いますかね。やり残したことがまだあったんだなって気がついたんですよ。
Are you feeling alright?
何がでしょう。ああ、そうか。時間ですか。私は暇ですが、そうですね。いきなりこんな話を聞かされても退屈ですよね。すみません。
Not at all.
それじゃ私はこれで失礼します。くだらない話に付き合わせてしまってどうもすみませんでした。
The man abruptly turns around and walks right off, small hunchback unsteadily swaying back and forth. Watch him as he goes, but all of a sudden he seems to have disappeared into thin air. What the? Sound of his footsteps, faint smell of his cologne, sight of his hunting cap weaving forward. Can't pick up any trace of the man. He's melted into the low buzz of the station streets as if he was never here in the first place. Wasn't a ghost, was he? Of course, I don't really believe in any such thing. That sudden appearance and equally abrupt exit were about as ghostly as it gets.
お待たせ。何？どうかしたの？
No, it's nothing. This weird old man just struck up a conversation, that's all.
変なおっさん？誰？
Don't know. Kind of a creepy one, though. There's no doubt in my mind he's an amateur. But I can't get over the gleam of madness in those eyes. I've seen that gleam before. They're the eyes of a man who's thrown away everything. The eyes of a man who's fixated himself on one goal, abandoning all for the sake of his country, comrades, or family. Crazed eyes of a fanatic. He could also be the teacher, guys. For all you know, the teacher survived. And that's why they're like, oh yeah. Alright, I'll see you, Shade. Amane, he called himself your fan. Anyone come to mind?
自慢じゃないけど、私中年には結構モテるからな。誰だろう。
I have a bad feeling about this.
何？そんなに変な人だったの？
Yeah, he was. It was like talking to a Grim Reaper in human form. Got this sickening tingle in my chest.
やだ、ちょっと大丈夫？
I've experienced something like this before. I don't know when exactly, probably in early childhood. It's a vague memory that my mind doesn't want to remember too clearly. A dark, unpleasant memory locked away for many years suddenly oozes out from a crack in the wall. The old man, huh? I close my eyes slowly as the sensation of cold perspiration grows in my armpits. Trickles of salty sweat roll down my forehead over my closed eyelids. My hands are clenched tightly into clammy fists. It takes conscious effort to keep my knees from trembling. It's been a while since I remembered, a while since something triggered this psychological trauma. Oh yeah, he could be like one of the girl's parents from the flashback. True. But definitely suspicious.
Yuji, 本当に大丈夫？なんかすごい汗だよ。
Yeah, I'm fine.
どうする？今日はもうやめにして帰ろうか？
No, you finally managed to make up your mind to do this. Let's go. The madness I sensed in that man. Was it just a figment of my imagination? Probably not. Did the scent of that cologne revive buried memories of my father in my unconscious mind, leading me into a paranoid post-traumatic delusion? Probably not. Whatever the case, at the moment, I just want to put as much distance between me and him as possible. Our destination is about 2.5 hours away from the Mishima Cape by highway. While I admit to a little unease at letting Amane take the wheel, it'd be difficult to complain given her obvious technical skill as a driver. The mini truck accelerates smoothly as we pull into the fast lane, its 4-cylinder engine purring.
しまったな。タイヤの空気圧低かったかな。高架のジョイントで少しお尻振るね。
Well, yeah, since we don't have a load in the back.
どうしよう。次のサービスエリアで止まってエアの調節しようか。
Hardly necessary. Any more pressure and it'll ride rough once we're off the highway. Just turn the wheel into the sway and keep our weight evenly distributed. Focus on directing the rear driver's side tire and we shouldn't fishtail.
ちょい踏み気味ってことかな。こんな感じ？
Right, like you're gently turning onto an exit.
ああ、なるほどね。雪道の要領か。面圧の均等分配ね。人間トルクスプリッターだ。
You've lost me now. In any case, all I'm saying is, we've got 4 tires on this thing, so make good use of them all.
難しいことを簡単に言ってくれるよね。私の場合、さらっとやってるように見えるけど、結構大変なんだよ、それ。
We'll probably find out who that guy is by the end of this route. I do, but I also know what you can do. I wouldn't have said that to just anybody. What?
なんかさ、やっぱユージって、和樹の弟だよね。
What's that supposed to mean?
なんかさ、うまく言えないけど、やっぱ似てるんだよ。和樹もユージも。
Can't deny it. In a lot of ways, Kazuki raised me more than my parents did.
そっか。
Don't get so transparently depressed at every little thing. I say, will you? I don't want to tiptoe around trying to be tactful. It's a pain in the ass.
はっきり言うな。
Kazuki isn't as delicate a subject for me as you seem to think. Not that I can completely laugh it off. There's no need to get gravely serious every time I mention her name. And for what it's worth, I'm not trying to torture you about her death either.
でも。
Yeah, I know. When you want me to bully you, just say the word. I'll play along unless I have something better to do with my time.
そういう意地の悪い言い方、ほんと似てるな。
Don't laugh at me, woman. This is as much as I can do. I push and pull Amane around, keep her hands so full that she doesn't even have time to get depressed. And in her darkest moments, I scold her outright. You've got a responsibility to live for my sake. I won't allow you to run away from it. That's all I can do for her, but I believe it'll be enough. I believe she'll be saved someday. I have to believe that. But for now, Amane still recoils from happiness, sinking to strong depression at the best of times. If the weight grows too heavy for her to bear, she tugs on my sleeve so that no one else can see, and whispers in my ear, always the same words. Hey, bully me. I need my punishment for the day, please. Tormented and teased, she finds the peace of mind that eludes her in moments of gentle kindness. Accept Amane and that strange contradictory jumble of emotions, just as she's accepted me. We'll work through them together from now on. We're just going on a trip to a former site where people died. As in, we're going back. Apparently there's a memorial there now too. I don't know how many years that will take. If things go badly, Amane might be like this for the rest of her life. As long as I'm able to tag along, I will. No, just kind of amused at myself, thinking seriously about the future and all that.
何それ。将来ぐらい誰だって考えるでしょ?
I guess so. Everyone does, don't they? Sooner or later, everything that lives reaches the same future. In other words, death. I've imagined mine a number of times. No, imagine might not be the right word. I've brushed against a very real possibility of death a number of times, implanting the awareness that I might well lose my life this way in my mind. In those visions, I always died alone, without exception. I leave the world with all the dignity of a stray dog in a ditch. No one grieves, no one gets a phone call. The corpse is disposed of in a businesslike manner, and that's that. That's how I'd always seen it playing out. For a long time I scraped my way through life, unable to consider even my own path, and now I'm seriously thinking about the future for the sake of a single woman. That's not laughable, what is? To work you like a dog. That's an amazingly vague question. What are you asking me specifically?
ずっと 私のそばにいてくれるんだよね。
I get it. You want me to propose?
まあそうなんだけどさ、あのねユージ、寮に帰ったら辞書でデリカシーって言葉について調べた方がいいよ。
Of course, I'm thinking about marriage as well. Since I've been living pretty selfishly and irresponsibly up until now, it's honestly kind of difficult to even imagine. I've never lived the sort of life I could tell others about with pride. I'm pretty sure the idea of leaving any trace of my passing through this world has always repelled me. This world has always repelled me. My mistake. I didn't want to get married, much less have kids. I didn't want to take on anything that would be left behind after my death. Same reason I've never owned more property than I can carry on my back. But I'm starting to think that, for Amane's sake, I'd be willing to throw that lightness away. So I run smack into a logistical problem. Of course, I'm referring to my job. Amane, the truth is, I'm currently at something of a loss. After another 1.5 years at my job, my field term's up. Should I renew my contract, spend a year as an instructor while sitting exams and aim for promotion? Or should I resign, become a permanent reserve, and look for other work? Which would you prefer?
って言われてもな、どう違うの?
The biggest difference would be in the level of danger. If I renew my contract and get promoted, my risk will go way down, but that also means my total salary will drop sharply. Whereas if I become a reserve member, I'll be able to take on a day job, so my earnings depend on my abilities. But when called back for emergency services, my jobs won't be any less dangerous than they are now.
だったら私は安全な方がいいな。
But you know, even if I renew the contract, it's going to be difficult for me to move up the ranks, since I didn't attend a specialized school. It'd probably take me 10 years to make assistant section chief, and getting any further would be harder still, maybe even impossible. My base salary today is 187,300 yen a month. Promoted, 233,600 a month. Even if I work until retirement age, maybe 449,100. By the way, if you guys don't know what those numbers are, his base salary right now is it's about like 1,000. It's about $1,800 a month right now. If he gets promoted, it'll be about 2,250, which is like a little more than 500 a week. And even at retirement, he's only going to be making like 4,300. It's not impossible to get by on when you add in the benefits and bonuses, but
お給料の金額ってもう決まっちゃってるの?
Right, a company's got a pay scale, so the salary corresponding to every rank is clearly defined.
でも危ない仕事はしなくていいんでしょ?
For the moment, at least. But that's also dependent on circumstances. If an emergency develops and some big shot says protect me even if it costs your life, I wouldn't be able to disobey.
嫌だって言えないの?
Well, you can try, but when your superiors say volunteers step forward, hanging back isn't really an option. When you get right down to it, that's what they're paying us for.
そうなんだ.
But then again, if I die on the job as a formal employee, there would apparently be 100 million yen payment to my family.
そういう問題じゃないと思う.
If I become a permanent reserve instead, I'll still be called up for emergencies, but operating under the table, I can work a little more flexibly. In other words, I'd be able to play dirty behind the scenes without anyone complaining. I might be able to pull through serious crises through skill and craftiness, not an option for a normal employee.
結局どっちが安全なの?
As long as there aren't any dramatic upheavals in the world, renewing the contract and becoming a regular employee carries less risk. But in the case of a large-scale emergency, being a reserve will be comparatively safer.
微妙. ユージはどうしたいの?
All things considered, I don't want to become a permanent reserve and look for another job. If I get married and start a family, I want to be able to tell my kid what daddy's job is.
そこまで考えてるんだ.
It's important. You have to think about it. Don't sound so surprised. Just whose fault do you think that is? A little while ago, I wasn't thinking more than a day or two ahead at most.
それっていいことなんだよね.
Could be. Probably, yeah.
私はユージの決めた方で構わないよ。契約更新してお給料が安くても 私も働けばいいことだし、他の仕事に就きたいならそれでも構わない。
Even on permanent reserve, they're going to keep me on a short leash for 5 years. I need to apply in advance to move into a new home or travel abroad, and won't be free to pick any job I want either.
それでも他の仕事がいいんでしょ。大丈夫。仕事が見つからなかったら2人で長距離トラックの運転手でもやろうよ。
Would you seriously be okay with that?
いいんじゃない。私タイヤのついてる乗り物大好きだし、意外と似合うと思うな。
Well, come to think of it, I do have a lead on a job, I guess. Not that anything's been settled yet, but the principal floated the idea of taking me on at Mihama.
先生になるってこと？
Nothing's decided yet.
でも何の先生になるの？そっか。うちって体育の先生いないよね。体育の先生は？
Like I keep trying to tell you, nothing's decided yet.
でもそれすごくいいと思うよ。さっきの子供の話じゃないけどさ、パパは先生ですってすっごくわかりやすいんじゃない？
Yeah, guess so.
そうか、そうだよね。結婚か。
I was planning to introduce myself to your family pretty soon. Marriage would be a ways off yet. I have to get a job first at the very least.
そうだね。それでも嬉しいな。なんだろう、なんか急に生きる希望、そんなのが見えてきた感じ。
You should get a job as a bus driver, because he won't drive his off cliffs, probably, right? That's a good thing. Optimism if you put it nicely, wishful thinking if you don't. I think it was Kazuki who told me they're both manifestations of a psychological self-defense mechanism that keeps us from committing suicide. But whichever this is, I'll take it. I don't think daydreams and theoretical scenarios are going to save Amane, but it's not a bad place to start. Uh-oh. I know that forest. I don't know this, though. I think this is new. We arrived at the parking lot beside the mountain a little after 10, slightly behind schedule. Since we didn't know where the trail up the mountain began, we stopped into a diner and asked around. But apparently the crash site had become somewhat popular among local kids as a haunted spot. So the answer we received was, "What, you too?" and judgmental glare. If we explained that I'm a bereaved family member, they finally pointed us toward the unmarked entrance. The utterly deserted path up the mountain had a gentler incline than I expected. The locals rarely set foot in here, and the trickle of visitors had slowed over the years, the trails neglected and overgrown, but now it's been halfway reclaimed by the primeval forest. Not too far beyond this tangled jungle, we'd glimpsed a private golf club with neatly manicured grounds, but on this hike, our scenery consists of a bristly waist-high grasses swaying in the breeze, trees sticking out of the hard soil at odd angles, and slanting rocky path ahead. That surprisingly gentle incline didn't last long either. 10 minutes into the forest, the slope quickly grew intense. Thanks to the vigorous exercise and high humidity, my back was quickly soaked in unpleasant sweat. Noticing that Amane has begun to lag behind, I come to a halt and turn around to face her. You alright, Amane? King, they literally didn't crash. They parked their car in a parking lot at the base of the mountain, and they're now walking through because there's a trail now that was made as a memorial.
大丈夫。当時に比べれば全然歩きやすいし。
The path is fairly wide, probably cut through the forest with the installation of the memorial stone in mind. But even so, now and again we run into steep stretches of rock that we're forced to scramble up on hands and knees. Since we're not pushing through thick grasses as we go, it must be significantly better than it was for Amane back then, but it's decidedly not an easy stroll.
こんな道があの当時にもあればね。
No use saying that now, of course. Deciding to interpret Amane's words as a monologue, I turned without comment and once again pushed forward on the rough mountain path. The further we advance, the twistier the road grows, the more frequent and severe its ups and downs. Just as an experiment, I take out my M2 compass and open the lid. At a glance, the magnetic needle seems to be pointing north. Maybe dry compasses are harder to influence? By having finished sighting, I lower the compass to chest level, and it immediately begins to shake. And when I place the compass on the ground itself as a test, the needle swings dramatically and fixes itself in a completely impossible direction. Take out my phone and flip on the GPS as to say, well, how about this? But while the latitude and longitude display accurately, the mapping gets me nothing but a no signal message. I see, this is rough. I'm standing on a well-defined trail right now, so I don't feel any anxiety, but a quick visual survey of the surrounding area reveals nothing else that could serve as a landmark. Without this path, glancing over your shoulder for a moment would probably be enough to completely throw off your orientation. Where a powerful blizzard may create a temporary whiteout, jungle distance produces a permanent greenout. We spent maybe 3 hours now hiking up the mountain. It's been 30 minutes since our third short breather. I'm just about to suggest taking a second longer break when I notice that Amane has grown extremely quiet. The look in her eyes suggests that we've reached familiar scenery. Letting Amane take point, I follow a little ways behind. Before long, we arrive in a gaping rocky ravine surrounded on all sides by overhanging trees. Oh man. The rusted ruined bus is still lying where it fell 6 years ago. Most likely, it was simply impossible to remove it from this place. If you had a trail leading right to it. Even when aiming directly for a clear landmark, it's often impossible to keep yourself traveling in a straight line through a dense forest. It takes so many detours to avoid obstacles that your direction will eventually be thrown off. In my company, new employees receive compass-based navigation instruction as part of their final training. After mastering basic compass operations, the final part of this little course involves throwing the newbies into a dense jungle with only a rough handwritten map, absurdly demanding they find their way to a specific point. Given a halfway adequate path, it wouldn't even be a challenging hike, but in a primeval forest without even animal trails, it's no joke. In the end, the majority lose their way and give up, and these are adults who've just spent a number of days learning how to orient themselves under difficult conditions. In some cases, they'll spend a good 4 hours or so hiking through the woods with the crude map in one hand, only to find themselves back where they started, the instructor sneering, "What's wrong? Forget something?" If anything, you did a hell of a job finding your way out of this place at all. As she spoke, Amane's downcast eyes fixed on the dignified striking granite cenotaph standing before us. It seems to have been a while since the last visitor. The flowers placed before the monument are thoroughly withered, and the offerings of drinks and cakes have clearly been battered by the elements. After cleaning them away, Amane silently places the bouquet and snacks she bought and Mishima cape on the table set up for offerings, then sets up lights in her incense sticks. Crouching down in front of the stone, Amane shuts her eyes and brings her hands together. Wait. I just realized something, guys. It said the guy's name was Sagashita? Isn't that the name of the captain from the flashback? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Amane is praying with an earnest, intent look on her face, but I can't think of anything to say to the monument. It's just a stone in the end. I know Kazuki's not in there, but it's not that I'm stubbornly clinging to that cold realism. I simply can't find the words to speak to my sister. I've never been able to handle this sort of thing very well. Years ago, when my American classmate, Daniel Vaughn, died on the job and I rushed over to his funeral, it was the same. Staring at Danny's coffin wrapped in the stars and stripes, I found myself at a loss. Hey Danny, you're kidding, right? First Marine's Iron Man couldn't possibly have died, right? Just going to pop up out of the thing, yell, "Hey Shorty, something wrong?" That shit-eating grin on your face, right? Stop with the crappy jokes, Danny. So those are the only words that popped into my head. No words can reach the dead. If you want to talk about something, talk about the reason they're gone. No matter how we feel about the matter, people die all too easily when the circumstances demand it. Speaking the reason for the death of Kazuki and the others, I once asked JB for copies of the investigation reports, years ago now. Unexpectedly, the documents indicated most had died of acute digestive diseases, specifically orally transmitted infections, mainly colitis and hepatitis. The investigators conjectured the group had died in rapid succession, perhaps 2 to 4 days after symptoms first emerged. The source of the infection was almost certainly the bushmeat they added to their diet. Was the origin of their illness the dog they eaten after its death from sickness? Or perhaps... right. Yes, corpses discovered in this place had all been severely mutilated, with the lone exception of Yoshihiko Ochi, the club's advisor. That disturbing scene dominated coverage of the accident, overwhelming the truth through sheer spectacle. The phrase dismemberment murders took on a life of its own, ultimately leading to public suspicion that the sole survivor might have been the criminal responsible for leaving those gruesome corpses behind. Take a halfway serious look at the results of the investigation, and you see the autopsy suggested the bodies had been cut apart only after death. And since Amane had escaped from the valley before the estimated times of death for most of the corpses, it was simple enough to surmise she couldn't be responsible for the mutilation. There were plenty of whispers and internet rumors suggesting that Amane must have deceived the investigators about the timing of her escape. But in any event, this was received by the authorities as a speculation it was, and the potential case against her was never pursued for insufficient evidence. Next target of the buzzards, innuendo, and slander was Yoshihiko Ochi, recorded in the report as the only corpse among the 13 discovered intact. After all, a mass murder of female students by their own teacher was an even more attractive storyline for the classist scum of the world. Since it had a stronger tinge of scandal than the alternative, the media leapt onto this new theory with all the enthusiasm of a dog thrown red meat, adding in insinuations of sexual assault toward his pupils just for spice. Visual novels are very deep with the feels because it combines something you're used to, the written word, with visuals, with sounds, with effects, with voice acting at times. So it's kind of like the halfway point between like watching a movie and reading a book. I'd say that's why it's good at eliciting emotions and feelings, because there are things that are left to your imagination, like as if you were reading a book, can do, and at the same time there are visuals presented to you in ways that a book can't do sometimes. So it's a good combination and a good middle ground. So a story like this one, like the Fruit of Grisaia, translates very well as a visual novel. And apparently made a good anime, because there are people who really like the anime, right? I'm gonna assume that people like the anime. I don't know. I've never watched it before. I mean, it's tough to pinpoint like what you'd call that sort of illicit relationship, but you know. Anyway, with their slander, they tore apart Ochi's starved, pitiful corpse far more cruelly than any knife could have. In consideration of the extremely extenuating circumstances, no posthumous charges were ever filed against Ochi, but much like the lone surviving girl, society presumed him guilty. Who cut them up isn't the problem. To keep history from repeating itself, the only thing that matters is understanding why. Ooh, I really like Valiant Hearts, Uni. The hell's wrong with this country anyway? Maybe I don't have the right to complain. As someone who was born and raised in Japan and never tried to change a thing about it. But I also seen this country from an outside perspective, and it routinely makes me sigh in disgust. Wherever you go, people are fundamentally no better than they are anywhere else. I know that rationally. I've experienced this many times, but it always brings on a nauseating surge of bitterness. fully prepared to die the unappreciated death of a stray dog. Still, every time I feel this familiar wave of disappointment, can't help but wonder what I've been crawling through the mud for. It makes me want to vomit. Amane, are you done yet? I'm starting to feel a little sick to my stomach. Yeah, but I don't want to hang around this place longer than necessary. Let's dig up whatever Kazuki's buried and get out of here. Reasonably enough, there's no telling what's going to come out of that hole. Even Kazuki's last will and testament might not be so bad, on a scale of possibilities. Considering the circumstances back then, if by any chance we were to dig up her decapitated head, even understanding that the idea is absurd, I learned a long time ago not to put anything past Kazuki, even the physically impossible. Kazuki, huh? For a long time I'd almost never spoken my sister's name, but lately it's been different. On the black cenotaph, presumably built by the families of the victims, that name is listed with all the others. The names of the 13 who died in this place. Kaneda Saya, Komori Megumi, Hiroka Tamaki, Sakurai Mifuyu, Shikanai Tsubasa, Ozawa Yoko, Kabe Tomoe, Sakuma Minori, Ibuki Haruna, Kazumi Kazuki, Ochi Yoshihiko, Koide Ritsu, Sakashita Chiaki. As I run my eyes across the list engraved in the smooth stone, something catches my attention. Sakashita Chiaki. That name, hold on.
Oh, ですよね。これは失礼。私は坂下と申しましてね。天音さんの大ファンなんですよ。
Could it be a coincidence? No, that's...
ユージ? どうしたの? 気分でも悪いの?
Quiet. What is this? There's something unpleasant in the air. It's too quiet, not even a bird singing. As the trees rustle in the wind, I finally pick up the scent of a familiar menacing presence. My breath catches in my throat. In an open, rocky clearing with little in the way of shelter, I've caught the murderous scent of an enemy. Amane, get down! Reacting instantly, I leap to push Amane aside, shielding her with my body. Before we hit the ground, there's a violent thrust against my right shoulder from behind. Gah! The next split second, the shattering sound of a gunshot rings off the cliff, soaks into the trees above, rattling my eardrums. The next thing I hear is a dull thump. By the time I realize it was the sound of my head striking a rock on the ground, my consciousness is already sinking into profound darkness. Well, shit.
まさか気づかれるとは驚いたな。まるで野生動物みたいに勘のいい男だね。
あなたは一体何を？
はい、どうも。周防天音さん。お会いするのは初めてだったかな。私はね、坂下千秋の父親で、坂下刑事と申します。
Yeah, I realized there was something wrong. He's like, Sakashita. I was like, why is it rubbing all of us the wrong way? And then I was like, wait, especially when we came out, I was like, wait, the captain. Uh-oh, and here we are.
天音さんにおかれましてはお元気そうで何よりです。はい。
坂下部長の。
そうですよ。あなたが見殺しにした。いや、あなたが殺した坂下千秋の父親です。
Wow, this guy is
かわいそうな千秋。なんでこんなことになっちゃったんでしょうね。
Of course, this piece of shit with a piece of shit daughter is the one that thinks Amane is guilty of this stupid rumors when it's his fucking daughter that went off the deep end and turned the place was one of the ones that turned a place to a place where people decided to give up their humanity, as Kazuki described them, become ghouls, no longer human.
これが運命だっていうなら、あまりにも残酷で、もうね、神を恨む思いですよね。
Yeah, it's like this guy. You can see why Sakashita is the one that was the bad guy in the flashback. Just saying. Sometimes the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. This guy's clearly a piece of shit.
でもほら、なんて言うんでしょうかね。神とかってね、人の弱さが生み出した概念的なものっていうか、ね、実体のないものを憎んでもね。で、まあ私は思うわけですよ。何かこう存在としてのありがたみとでも言いますか、この手で触れることのできる対象と言いますか、わかりますかね。
Ugh. Man, it feels like I took a bullet to the shoulder.
動くなボケ。私の話の途中でしょうが、聞きなさいよ。ねえ、最近の若いやつはどいつもこいつもてめえのことしか考えやがらねえ、救いようのないクズだな。おい。まったくもう、まったくどいつもこいつもまったく動くなよ。今弾入れ替えるから。
Yeah, it looks like it's a simple pump action shotgun. Shit. Yeah, I'm alright. Though I reflexively offer reassurance, fact of the matter is nothing about this situation is remotely alright. All well and good that I sensed that sharp murderous aura in time to pull Amane down, I didn't manage to completely escape the widely scattered buckshot pellets. Felt as though an enormous stone had smashed into my right shoulder. The blood flowing from my wound quickly grows cold against my back, gluing my shirt to my body. Considering the amount of blood, flow doesn't seem that intense. I probably got a number of small pellets lodged in my shoulder. The wound's not going to prove fatal in the short term. When I tried to pull myself up off the ground, my back screams with pain. Try to find a less painful way to move, twisting my body like a caterpillar, but it's wasted effort. That first huge stab of pain has all but paralyzed my body. Keeping still is about the only way I'm able to maintain my composure. Having finished reloading shells into his break-action vertical double-barreled shotgun, Sakashita mumbles these words to himself in an oddly calm tone of voice, staring up into space. Observing his suddenly placid behavior, my throbbing heartbeat slowly begins to settle down. At the very least, it seems he doesn't intend to kill us immediately. Sending Amane a small signal to wait for now, with a flick of my eyes, I quickly settle back to watch and wait.
千秋はね、私が30の頃に授かった娘でね、親の勧めもあって26で結婚した私が愛してもいない妻と苦労をして作った娘なんですよ。
Wow, this guy's a piece of shit.
正直ね、子供なんて欲しくはなかったんですよね。でもね、老いた両親に熱望されてしまえば無下に断るわけにもいかない家系でしてね。私の父は戦後の混乱期に不動産で財を成した資産家でしてね。私は父のそんな火事場泥棒まがいの商売を継ぐのが嫌でよく反発しては生意気を言うなと殴られたものですよ。おっと、違うな。娘の話でしたよね。まあね、そんな毛嫌いしていた父親の勧めで 地方銀行の頭取の娘を嫁にもらったのが26。見てくればっかり気にして夫をまるで下男でも見るような目で見るクズ女でしたが、なんとかこう仕込むことに成功しましたよ。そこで生まれてきたのが千秋です。名前を付けたのは私です。いえ、名前に深い意味はありません。
There's irony in the fact that your daughter is named Chiaki because she is the only piece of shit Chiaki I know ever from any other source ever.
生まれたのが10月、つまり秋で、千の幸あれと適当につけた名前ですよ。でもね、不思議なものですよね。いざ生まれてみると、これがもう可愛くて仕方がないんですよ。
Lovely? The hell's that got to do with us? The words almost emerged from my mouth, but I bite my tongue. Right now, we're powerless. Our eyes fixed on the hunting shotgun in Sakashita's hands, Amane and I can do nothing but listen to his words. Apparently pleased by his submissive attitude, Sakashita continues his monologue in a relaxed, easy tone of voice.
生まれた経緯はどうであれ、私にはとても大切な、自分の分身とも言えるほどに大切な子だったのですよ、千秋は。そんな千秋がですよ、合宿の帰りに行方不明になったと聞かされた時の私の驚きが想像できますか？もちろんすぐに探してくれと依頼しましたよ。ヘリを含め1日に70万円かかると言われた捜索費も全て私が負担しました。
This guy paid $7,000 a day, and we weren't, their group wasn't found.
ところが2週間経っても見つからない。まさかこんな場所で移動経路の予定にないこんな旧道の外れでバスごと滑落したとは誰も予想していなかったんですよ。もちろん私も思ってもみませんでしたし、ことによると某国に拉致されたのではとすら思っていたのですから、随分と的外れな場所ばかりを探していたのでしょうね。そして周りの誰もが諦めかけた頃、あなたがたった一人で生還しました。もちろん捜索隊を再編成し、すぐに救助に向かわせましたが、間に合わなかった。回収された千秋の亡骸は8つに分断されていました。まさに八つ咲きというやつです。私はね、まるで自分の身を裂かれたような思いですよ。泣きましたとも。収容先の病院で白いシーツをかけられた千秋にすがりつくようにして年がいもなく大声を上げて泣きました。
I mean, it's your daughter, I guess.
なんて運のない子だろう。できれば代わってやりたかったと、そう思うことで私も一時は納得したのです。ところがね、娘を亡くしてからというもの、どうやら私も運に見放されてしまったようでしてね。何をやってもうまくいかんのですわ。
Judging by the direction of this conversation, it looks like he's going to start shifting the blame of his life falling apart into Amane's way of saying it's because his daughter died and some bullshit like that. Basically, not accepting the fact that he himself fell apart and he's at fault for that happening.
仕事はもちろん、家庭もうまくいかず、妻には離婚され、年老いていた私の父も他界、母も父の後を追うようにして半年後に他界しました。もしかしたら千秋がおじいちゃんとおばあちゃんを迎えに来たのかもしれません。千秋は ああ見えて甘えん坊な部分がありましてね。祖父も祖母も大好きだったんですよ。それから4年、私も千秋の迎えを待ちながら頑張って生きてきたのですがね、ダメでした。何もかもがダメでした。仕事もうまくいかず、負債ばかりが増え、気がつけば幹部社員の何人かが同時に退社を申し出てきました。そうなってしまえばもう会社を畳むしかありません。娘を失い、両親を亡くし、妻と社員に逃げられ、会社もなくした。私にはもう残っているのは借金ぐらいのものですよ。
Not a pleasant word. He should touch himself more often than that. Yeah, I agree with that.
さて、これから何をすればいいのか、私の頭の中は真っ白ですよ。どうすればいいのかなんて何も思いつかない。そんな時でした。とある情報筋と言いますか、娘の元同級生から私のもとに連絡が入りましてね。その子が言うには、三島崎駅前のお祭りで周防天音を見かけたって言うんですよ。
Are you fucking serious? You're saying those stupid bitches at the freaking festival will decide to, of all people to contact, hey, let's contact this like crazed, deranged old man who is in debt and has no life.
ああ、そういえば我々の前から逃げるようにして忽然と姿を消した周防天音さんの情報に以前私は賞金をかけたなあ、なんて思い出しましてね。
They probably wanted the reward money. Wow, I hope they die in a fire too.
忘れかけていたところにふっと思い出したあなたの名前に、私はね、そう運命のようなものを感じたんですよ。こうね、真っ白だった頭の中にね、ぽっかりと浮かんできたんですよ。自分が何をしたらいいのか、何をやり残していたのか、明確にね。
So, I understand this guy is probably falling apart at the seams because he's basically become, like so depressed and deranged from the loss of his, only child that obviously every endeavor that he took upon himself afterwards fell apart because that's the only thing that kept him going. But still, man, can't just bring a shotgun and start shooting at people. That's fucking wrong. That's the reason you attacked us?
はい、そうです。これは復讐と言いますか、制裁です。はい。
Retribution. Are you serious? Confirming that my pulse had largely settled down while hearing out Sakashi's idiotic life story, dig my hands into the gravelly ground and pull myself to my knees.
Yuji!
It's fine. Get back. Grabbing Amane's wrist with a hand coated in sticky blood, draw her body behind mine. Stop trying to numb the pain of your failure by pushing the blame onto a scapegoat. All you're really looking for is an excuse to end your miserable life. If you want to die, do it alone. Don't take people who still have a future down with you.
これは驚きましたね。言うじゃないですか。銃が怖くないんですか？あなた、風見裕二さん、あなた何なんです？何か妙に重厚慣れしていますね。若者特有の辛い針というわけでもなさそうですし、まるで何度も銃口の前に立ったことがあるみたいに妙に落ち着いている。おもちゃではないことは 撃たれたあなたが一番よく理解しているでしょう。
As if to demonstrate, he thrust forward the muzzle of his gun, twin barrels coated with black paint to prevent bare metal from flashing a warning to unsuspecting prey, glittered dully in the afternoon sun. None of that matters, Sakashita-san. Respectfully, sir. You're full of shit. You want to find a new purpose in life? Fine, good for you. I don't give a damn. But retribution? Who the hell do you think you are? You're just taking out your misery on others. Who died made you judge, jury, and executioner? Does a shotgun and a hard luck story make you into some kind of holy warrior? Because from where I'm standing, you look more like a condescending, arrogant lunatic. If you had a real reason to deliver retribution, and if you were qualified to play that role, maybe I'd accept your judgment. But I'm not going to play along with the temper tantrum of some idiotic child who can only hold himself together by forcing his misery on others. Don't make me fucking laugh. Alright.
これは参りましたね。思った以上に弁の立つ方だ。なんかもう必死ですよね。私を怒らせて天音さんに銃口が向かないようにしているつもりですか？
I mean, you have to aim the gun at Yuji anyway, because he put Amane behind her.
私が怒りに任せてあなたに向けて2発撃ち込めば、弾を込めている間に天音さんを逃がすことができるとでも？
Hey guys, do me a favor. See this guy, this asshole with his wide open mouth? Photoshop a dick in it. Tell him to eat a dick and choke on it.
これは参った。なんという勇気だ。あなた勇者じゃないですか。かっこいいですな。
Alright, I'll permit you to have a crush on me.
ではお望み通り殺してあげましょうか。
Feel free to try. As a rule of thumb, people who bother to spout off threats like "Do you want to die?" aren't about to follow through on them. When someone wants you dead, they'll kill you, not waste their time giving you a sermon. What this man really wants is to see us cowering on the ground, begging for our lives, ideally with snot running down our faces. Amane's pissed. Amane?
ほう、どうしました？天音さん。
あなたの娘を見殺しにしたのは私よ。あなたが殺したいのは私でしょ。ユージは関係ないわ。むしろ家族を失ったあなたと同じ被害者よ。
ほうほう、それで私はどうなっても構わないから風見さんは助けてほしいとそうおっしゃる。
おっしゃるわ。
おっしゃられてもね。さてさて、これはどうしたものか。
死に場所が欲しいなら私がここで一緒に死んであげるから。
Amane!
いいからユージは黙ってて。これは私とこの人の問題なのよ。
はあ、そんなにも大切ですか、この風見さんが。
Sakashi's face twists into the habitually mocking expression of a man rotten to his core. Amane realizes her mistake. This man had no intention of letting me go from the start. He intended all along to kill me before her eyes, to force her to suffer the agony of losing someone precious to her life, and only then take her life. No, it's entirely possible that I was the only target from the very beginning. He may want nothing more than to force Amane into the depths of despair, to leave her stranded in her agony, crawling pitifully through a living hell.
私はね、ずっとね、こういう機会を待っていたんですよ。
This guy's a piece of shit. I don't like him. Very simple. Very simple person. Person piece of shit. I don't like him.
誰もね、私の悲しみなんざ理解しちゃくれない。
Wow, this guy's so emo. Nobody understands my pain.
私にはね、もうこんなことぐらいしか 残ってない
I
んで
have
す
to
よ。
do this because my pain makes me so sad. You know, you're one hell of a nuisance, old man.
でしょうよ。出なければ意味がない。もっと理不尽をかみしめてくださいよ。それが私の唯一の慰めになるのですから、はい。
最低だわ。
Disgusting. Check my Discord DMs. I will later.
いいですね。もっと私を憎みましょう。もうね、どんどん憎もう。そしてもっともっと苦しみましょう。よし、逃げていいですよ。
は？
だから逃げていいと言っているんですよ。もっと無様に、もっと惨めに。もがくようにして生にしがみつく姿を私に見せてください。はい、よーい、ドン。
Oh, did you Photoshop a dick in this guy's mouth because I wanted him to choke on dicks and die?
ほら、どうした？走れ！
As if stung by the sound of Sakashi's blast into the sky, Amane roughly grabs my clothes, pulls me to my feet, and drags me down the rocky path at a dead run. Gah. As I'm forcefully dragged into sudden action, my spine creaks painfully and my wounded shoulder pulses with agony. Amane! Hey, Amane! Voice doesn't reach her ears. Half carrying me, she runs in sheer desperation, frantically putting every inch she possibly can between us and that man.
あの人ももう人間じゃない。鬼だ。
Oh. Oh. Ooh. Amane's tearful choke voice trembles with terror. Simply fleeing from the mocking laughter behind us is the most we can do. More times than I can count, we lose our footing on the uneven ground. Half crawling over sharp rocks and thick vegetation, we run desperately, directionlessly, thinking only of gaining distance from our pursuer. Whenever we come to a momentary halt, the blast of gunfire gouges the ground only a little behind us. Frantic to keep our legs moving, we eventually lose all sense of where we're going. As we splash across the small stream Amane and the others had used as their water source, our menacing shadow abruptly vanishes.
もう大丈夫かな。追ってこないみたい。
No, he's here, hiding himself, but watching us closely.
わかるの？
Only by intuition, but I don't think he'd give up so easily either. At a guess, Sakashita must be a recreational hunter. First time we met, he approached me with perfect stealth, then vanished like a ghost into the station crowd after our conversation had concluded. Most likely, he's got extensive experience hunting large wild game like deer or bears. Such animals can notice the presence of a typical human being from a good 200 meters away. Hunting such creatures requires the ability to blend perfectly into your surroundings, skill equally applicable to stalking other humans. This man's a serious goddamn nuisance.
ユージ、怪我は？
There's definitely something lodged in my right shoulder. Pain isn't unendurable, but I need to get this bleeding stopped or things are going to get ugly. That said, in our desperate flight, we left our backpacks and pouches behind at the memorial. We don't even have the most basic of medical supplies on hand.
どうしよう。傷口を縛ろうにも背中と肩じゃ。
That is a problem, but at this rate, the bastard is going to slowly torture us to death either way. We have to fight back somehow. We have absolutely nothing in the way of weapons on hand. And having been shot, my ability to fight is dubious at best. In that case, Amane, let's split up here and escape separately. Oh wait, but that leads to the bad end. Or the normal end? I don't know. I know that the true ending or good ending is you stick together with Amane. Right? Maybe? I'm not going crazy, right guys? Where's my spoiler-free walkthrough? I bookmarked it, right? Right? Oh, man. There it is. I did bookmark it. It's in my games bookmarks. Continue. Continue, I'm old. Yep. Yeah, so if I separate now, I'm going to get the bad ending. And if I don't, I get the good ending. We're going to get both endings, guys, but we're definitely going for the good ending first, because I think I've had it with this shit. He wants to kill me in front of you. If we try to run away together, that's how this will end. Also, it might be unfair of me to put it this way, but I can operate easier alone. I want you to focus on escaping. Amane has already had to make that decision before, and she doesn't want to make it again. That's what she's saying. Yeah, I think it's gonna come up. Of course, I'm not planning just to run. I'll play the decoy, lure him out by pretending to flee, then turn the tables and crush him. In a fight where you have the added responsibility of protecting someone, this is the better strategy. Please try to understand. Literally what Kazuki did for her, right? 6 years ago? This is in order. Answer me, Amane. Amane! Nobody said anything about dying. Amane. Uh-oh. Don't apologize, damn it. This isn't over yet. Nobody said you could give up. Also, don't hold conversations with dead people. This is exactly why you're always dragging the past around like a ball and chain. Fools only look ahead. Crybabies only look behind. Envious children only look up, and scornful asses only look down on others. But they've all got tunnel vision. You're no different from that old idiot Sakashita. But nothing, woman. That said, what do I do? It's clearly, right click. Yes, drop the save. Choice. Emissary from the past. And like I said, today is not the day we get bad endings. Run away with Amane. That's right. I can't leave her alone right now. Alright, we'll run away together. Looking at Amane's face, I find myself growing strangely contemplative. It hasn't been long at all since we met, but somehow I feel like we've been together for many years already. In that short time, I've gained many priceless things from her. For that very reason, the thought that I might fail to save her from this predicament is immensely frustrating. I bite my lower lip, a sudden physical rush of anger spreading hotly through my body. Glance down following Amane's gaze. Probably because I got myself pointlessly worked up, fresh blood begun to flow from my wounded shoulder, down my right arm, dripping from my fingertips to stain the rocks below dusty red. The gunshot wound's problematic enough, but the blow to my head as I hit the ground must have been more severe than I initially realized. Without Without a determined effort to stay alert, the world before my eyes quickly seems to grow dim. Something salty and liquid begins to flow into my eyes. At first, I assume the pain is causing me to sweat heavily. When I wipe it away with my hand, I discover my forehead has begun to bleed as well. Break time's over, get running, huh? The man's got no patience. Alright then, listen up, Amane. We're up shit creek without the proverbial paddle. To be frank, there's a good chance we're both going to die here. Ready to stare down the Grim Reaper? No, you aren't. Thanks for trying, though. Human beings can acclimatize themselves to the possibility of death as easily as that. Oh, can't. The closer death grows, the more the mind flies to sentimentality and reminiscence. Remembering some friend from elementary school, you sniffle like a child. Just looking up into the sky at twilight, tears flow down your face. It takes 3 full days of living with death for the paralysis to set in. Yes, paralysis is the only word for it. Death begins to take on meaning in its own right. It becomes the only thing that does matter. Sometimes emotions utterly numbed, the survivors stagger into its clutches with a stupid smile on their faces. Might have been the wrong thing to ask you. Fine, let's try this instead. I'm not a charitable enough guy to roll over and die when someone tries to kill me. I'll fight back every inch of the way. If it comes down to it, I want the last words out of my mouth to be not yet. If you want to call yourself my woman, you're going to have to do the same. Since you're so prepared to die, you can do it fighting at my side. Got that? Fight to the bloody end. Thanks, I know I'm a stubborn pain in the ass, but that's what you signed up for. Stow it, don't make me blush, I'll bleed out faster. Don't ask questions if you know the answer. Alright, let's run. She looks happy. As he licked his lips, dry from the tension of the hunt, Sakashita Keiji stalked cautiously through the jungle in pursuit of his prey. Some 10 minutes ago, his fleeing targets had split up to run in different directions. For a moment's hesitation, he had decided to quietly chase Kazami Yuji, his initial objective and the more problematic of the two. How can you be happy in that situation? It's because Amane has a weird sense of happiness. But it's also because in Amane's eyes, it's kind of like Yuji accepted her courage and said, alright, then we'll fight together. And so it feels like she can, like, you know, chalk one up to the getting over it category. For some time, the boy had been blundering forward like a wounded beast, not even trying to conceal his flight. Crude sneers spread uncontrollably across Sakashita's face as he followed. Deer flee at full speed the instant they realize they're being targeted, and they won't stop until there's no longer the slightest sign of their pursuer. Even afterwards, they'll stand quietly on full alert for 30 minutes to an hour, cautiously ascertaining their safety. Yep. If their hunter gets tired of waiting and makes the slightest move, the deer will instantly take flight once more. Back to square one you go. The only thing to do is wait, erase yourself, melt into the forest, clear all emotion from your mind. In the time, the deer will decide the crisis has passed and begin to move normally again. That precise instant is your best window of opportunity. Living things are never more vulnerable than in moments of relief. Of course, human beings are no exception. The moment your desperate flight finally brings you to safety is by far the most dangerous. This Kazumi Yuji had picked Sakashita's interest at first, but his flight had been clumsy, and for the last few minutes he'd shown no signs of movement whatsoever. Perhaps his endurance had simply reached its end. I wouldn't call that the joy of battle. I'll say that if I had the option of fighting alone or alongside my loved ones, I would gladly do it alone. But there's a whole slew of reasons why, including don't want loved ones to get hurt. But that's the least of my worries if I'm in a fight that would require me to fight it alone. Anyway, that morning, just after he called out to Kazumi Yuji for the first time, Sakashita had momentarily felt his breath catch in his throat. Something about the man had set Sakashita's hair on end. It was a familiar feeling, the kind of tension he'd known when confronted by a large carnivore. Kazumi Yuji's eyes were bottomlessly disturbingly dark. In the set of his youthful, even boyish face, Sakashita thought he'd seen the hint of a powerful, unyielding will, and when those eyes flashed over him, they were very much the eyes of a beast appraising potential prey. Sakashita had seen such eyes before. His instructor at an overseas hunting school had looked at him the same way. The instructor had spent many years in the Marine Corps, participating in innumerable combat missions, a true soldier who fought many enemies and outlived them all. Until the vision of her right eye failed, it was said that instructor had been the greatest sniper even among the Marine elite. Those black, glittering eyes had possessed true power, not the hollow threat of some city thug leering glare, the raw menace of a beast's indifferent scrutiny. His knees had trembled at every glance. Kazumi Yuji's eyes gleamed with the same light as the genuine article Sakashita had once known. When the shock passed, that fact had brought him something like joy. He finally found the thing he had been searching for. His goal was revenge for his daughter. He had been searching for something to stand in his way. An effortless revenge would be meaningless. There would be no worthy tribute, no suitable final achievement unless he had made to labor for it.
それがどうだ。もう諦めるのか？残念だよ。
With a short sigh, Sakashita took another step forward, slowly approaching his immobile target. Of course, this movement was executed with perfect stealth. He couldn't afford to be careless yet. There was still a chance this was some form of trap. Squinting in the dim light that filtered through the canopy above, Sakashita cautiously observed the ground ahead. Scattered drops of Kazumi Yuji's blood formed a trail forward into the brush. No obvious traps, but there was no telling what a wounded beast might be capable of. Surely a man with eyes like that wouldn't give up so easily. In retrospect, there were many things about Kazumi Yuji he didn't understand. How could a boy like that, still virtually a child, have acquired such impenetrably dark eyes? Since he was in Mihama Academy, a box made to keep the sick daughters of wealthy men discreetly out of sight, he must have some unique circumstances. Sakashita's investigations had yielded little in the way of answers. The moment's informant had told him Suo Amane was in a relationship with a man. He had gathered all the information he could, none of it particularly revealing. Kazumi Yuji, precise personal history unknown. For an extended period studying overseas, he had transferred to Miyama Academy only months before as a specially invited international scholarship student. He might not even be Japanese. In fact, Sakashita's face-to-face meeting with the man had left him with just such an impression. Kazumi Yuji had spoken without the habitual slang and warped tone you expect from a young person these days. His words had been oddly stiff and formal, almost like a foreigner who'd learned Japanese from a textbook. And somehow the way the boy held himself simply didn't feel typically Japanese. Even his build was unusual. He clearly trained his body intensely, but in a way utterly removed from the bodybuilder's quest for inflated masses of decorative muscle. Kazumi Yuji was lean, sinewy, as if forged for a specific purpose. As Sakashita's thoughts rolled uneasily through this litany of incompatibility, something like an answer suddenly popped into his head. An agent from the north? He'd heard something before about a school there that existed to produce killers. During severe training from a very young age, it said those students who satisfied their standards would be sent off to foreign countries. He had no idea whether there was any truth to the story, but applied to Kazumi Yuji, it felt shockingly consistent. Even that strangely firm and erect bearing, so completely out of place in a modern youth, would be entirely understandable as a military deportment. Come to think of it, Sakashita's father had been no different. Men who spent time in the military are permanently left with a different set to their face. Even their way of thinking is transformed. No matter what the situation, they are always simultaneously considering the best and worst case scenario. A soldier, or perhaps a civilian in military employ, a contractor? When his thoughts progressed this far, Sakashita drew to a halt. This is a trap. All of a sudden, Sakashita felt very nearly convinced of that. He stared cautiously through the trees at Kazumi Yuji's white uniform some 30 meters ahead. Sakashita Keiji was aware that he suffered from a mild case of night blindness. Although it had no effect on his daily life, recently his astigmatism had been progressing as well. When the lighting grew poor, he had significant difficulty making out the exact shape of distant objects. In the dim, gloomy forest, where the treetops intercepted most of the sun's light, he could clearly make out the white school uniform on Kazumi Yuji's back. There was a possibility the boy was making use of that sharp contrast to deceive him. Once the thought occurred to him, it started to look almost like the jacket had simply been draped over a suitable tree branch. God damn it. Cursing silently to himself, Sakashita lifted his shotgun to his hip once more. His anxiety and nervous tension rendered his movements somewhat sloppy. The gun rattled in his hand as he brought it to bear. 30 meters ahead, the uniformed figure flinched in surprise and turned in his direction. Just my mind playing tricks on me. Nothing but a child after all. Lightly exhaling in relief, Sakashita took one step forward toward the white uniform. In that instant, you just let down your guard, didn't you? His face contorted with agitation and fright. Sakashita spun around toward the voice, swinging his gun at his chest. There was no one behind him. Wrong way. Once again, the voice was behind him. Sakashita wheeled around the second time, only to find himself facing a large flat boulder. Realizing the boy had thrown his voice off the wall of stone, he ground his teeth in frustration. Swinging from side to side, his gun and eyes moving as one, Sakashita searched frantically for the source of the voice. Like I said, wrong way. The instant Sakashita screamed those words, he heard a bush rustle with movement a few meters behind. Rather than Kazumi Yuji, his eyes in the muzzle of his gun found something else entirely. A long tree branch curved back like a tightly drawn bow. Branch instantly whipped forward into Sakashita's face. A split second after he squeezed his eyelids shut, the rough wooden bow struck him across both eyes. White stars exploding across his field of vision. Sakashita staggered backward, utterly blind. Oh shit. By the time the thought ran through his mind, it was already too late. His arm was jerked behind him, an unseen hand twisting the lever of his gun sharply upward, and the break action barrel swung open. Told you that was the wrong way, you know. The voice was behind Sakashita again, but this time he felt warm breath on his ear. This can't be happening. His ears ringing frantically and terrified, Sakashita tried to turn toward his enemy. But just as his head began to rotate, a hand reached out from behind and firmly seized him by the face. That's music to my ears, my friend. The long middle finger of Kazumi Yuji's hand dug savagely into his right eye. Sakashita Keiji shrieked in agony and horror. What kind of monster is he? The instant the thought ran through Sakashita's mind, a heavy kick to the back of his knee sent him sprawling forward. His head, yanked back against the momentum of his body, came to rest defensively against Kazumi Yuji's chest, chin up and throat utterly exposed. He's going to kill me! Sakashita's hand, still holding his gun, was pinned against his back. His shoulder and elbow screamed with pain, bones audibly creaking. His weak hand, the only possible means of fighting back, was desperately clutching at Yuji's wrist, attempting to keep his eyeball in its socket. He was completely powerless. The man behind him stabbed his throat with a sharp branch, let alone a knife. He would simply die. Even as he screamed the words, Sakashita knew it was a laughable, hypocritical request. He knew this man wasn't about to stop anytime soon, no matter how nicely he asked. But if it distracted Kazumi Yuji from inflicting pain on him for even the briefest of moments, any words would do. Sorry, not quite. Same dispassionate whisper as always. On these circumstances, it sounded so pitiless and so cruel that Sakashita involuntarily swallowed all the saliva in his mouth. As the warm liquid made its way down Sakashita's throat, his utterly exposed Adam's apple bobbed violently up and down. Close though. Everyone always gets so very close. What do you think? I'd hesitate? Unfortunately for you, I'm used to patricide, especially when it comes to worthless scum-sucking fathers like you. Very simple, Mr. Sakashita. You only know how to kill prey that doesn't fight back, and you picked a fight with someone who only knows how to kill human beings. Here's a tip. If you want to kill a human being, you need to go in prepared for the possibility you'll be killed instead. Oh, shut the hell up already. Huh. As Sakashita collapses to the ground, I let out a brief sigh, then crouched down to strip him of his hunting shotgun and equipment. Using a nylon rope and packing tape I find in his backpack, I quickly restrain him.
終わったの？
Hey! Yeah, somehow or other. Amane attentively draws near, taking in the scene. Accepting my school uniform from her outstretched hand, I gingerly slip it back on. Staring down at Sakashi's limp, tightly bound body, Amane furrows her brow anxiously.
殺しちゃったの？
Why the hell would I bother tying up a dead man? He's alive.
そう、ならよかった。
Is it? You do remember who we're talking about here, right?
相手が誰であっても、もう人が死ぬのは嫌だから。
Well, that's understandable. I have no intention of adding another layer to Amane's trauma. That happens to be the main reason this man's still breathing. It's all good in retrospect since it worked out, but to be honest, that was one hell of a tight scrape.
そうだよ。私だって怖かったし痛かったし、うまくいってくれなきゃ泣くとこだよ。
Pouting, Amane holds a hand to the back of her head. We devised a plan on the run, a trap using a tree branch to momentarily rob Sakashi of his vision, and what made it possible was in fact Amane's own hair. With no weapon on hand, we had to devise our own, and as we ran, those long, healthy locks quickly caught my attention. On average, her hairs were a full 120 centimeters long. By tying many strands together, we could use them to substitute trap wires. At first, Amane clapped her hands happily, saying something about finally finding a practical application of digital communication, but after having nearly 30 strands of her hair yanked out of her scalp, she was half crying from the intense pain. Basically, yeah, that's what happened. Don't be mad, alright? I'm grateful you were pretty damn near perfect back there. Squatting down in the darkness in my uniform to lure Sakashi into the open, she manipulated the strand of wire in her hand to provide the crucial distraction with impeccable timing. There might have been 30 meters between them, but she was still at gunpoint. Her composure was nothing short of remarkable under the circumstances. Well done, Amane. This strategy could have succeeded without you. You're getting an official commendation. Amane smiles as I drop my hand into her head and gently scratch her scalp, cheeks flushing pink. Kinda feels like petting a smart, overgrown puppy that came running back with the tennis ball in its mouth.
ねえ、もう終わったんだよね。
Close quarters combat is very useful, yes. My only response to Amane's question is a furrowed brow. I've seen this expression before. It's the third kind of face a woman can show you. Not the face of a woman you can kiss, not the face of a woman you can't kiss. So-called special case expression. Staring blankly at that expectant, almost demanding face, I suddenly feel very, very tired. Not yet. An expedition is over until you reach your front door. Save it for when we get back.
もうユージ?
Yo, man, Sakashi's just gonna wake up. He's like, you kids are really having sex, like, in front of me? Like, what the hell, man? I'm also really tied up very well. Like, what the hell? I can't move. We're going home. I'm exhausted. Passively allowing Amane's disgruntled mutterings to roll over my aching back, I lead her down the mountain. Sakashi's father we leave on the spot, trussed like a turkey. Once my cell phone finally picks up a signal, I gave JB a call and pushed everything onto her. Naturally, that shaggy-headed dork doesn't take the news well. It takes a good deal of patient effort to explain the situation. I end up sentenced to present myself at headquarters for an oral hearing and delivery of a detailed written report. The gunshot wounds on my back are painful enough, but now I've got a pain in the ass to deal with as well. 1 week after the incident, the wounds on my back had mostly stopped aching. My right arm was still supported by a thick sling hanging around my neck. Paid a visit to JB's office at company headquarters to offer my formal explanation.
また面倒な仕事を増やしてくれたわね。
Yep, that's basically what happened. Yeah, my sincerest apologies.
あんたってはいっつもそう。朝子もそうだった。
Guess it comes with being I-9029. Might as well just resign yourself to your fate.
何を偉そうに。だいたいそんな怪我までして。電話では聞いてなかったわよ。
Figured I'd save that for the formal report. Or what? Were you worried or something?
うぬぼれるんじゃないわよ。あなたの体や命はあなたのものじゃないのよ。大事な国の資産なの。わかってる？
Yeah, I understand.
ないのよ。どれだけ心配したと思ってるの？
What? So you were worried after all?
してないわよ。私はその国防装置としてのあなたの損壊を心配してたっていうか。
You have to broaden your understanding of CQC, because close quarters combat is a very general term. And yes, I have seen people lose with it, because there are lots of versions of close quarters combat. Like there are things that martial artists can do that a person who only does like military grade close quarters combat can't, and vice versa. Oh yeah, you can lose Metal Gear CQC. Same thing. Like I just said. You are so full of it. Yeah. And basically every martial arts has strengths and weaknesses. You can never fully remove that from any combat style. Is it just me, or has JB been veering dangerously close to Michiru territory lately? Aww. Yeah, but I like Michiru better though. Maybe it really does come with the hair color. So what happened to that Sakashita man afterward? Spent the morning flirting with Amane, so unfortunately not. Dead?
収容された病院の屋上から飛び降り自殺したらしいわね。新聞にはそう書いてあったし、今朝のニュース番組やワイドショーでもそう言っているわ。
Suicide.
自殺の原因は不明ってことになっているけど、おそらくは娘の死をきっかけとした転落人生を苦に、といったところじゃないかしらね。
I think you're just trying to still ascertain if it was an actual suicide or if they said a suicide occurred. If he was the sort to kill himself, I'm pretty sure the incident we're here to discuss never would have taken place.
今回の事件？何？それ。
Oh, yup. Yup, she literally called him in because she's like, I heard you got hurt. Come to HQ. Yeah, no, there's no incident. He's not. You covered it up?
事件なんて起きてもいないし、坂下氏は人生を儚んでの自殺。それが全てよ。
Man, that is a slight abuse of authority from JB, but I actually appreciate that. And I think you should probably like, thanks. Did you give him a push?
いやーね、人聞きの悪い。
When your voice gets all high pitched like that, there's always something ugly going on behind the scenes.
一応ね、他にも思いついたんだけどね。
Something even worse, I'm sure. No need to elaborate.
はい、お利口さん。
Wow. And you say I'm full of myself. Can I leave now?
結構よ。何？そんなにあまねちゃんが恋しいの？
Looking at your hair too long makes my eyes sting.
金髪は嫌いじゃないくせに。
Depends on the woman. Depends on the woman it's growing on. Alright then, I'll be going.
あ、ユージ、ちょっと待って。
You need something else?
前にあなたが言ってた予備社員の件だけど、条件付きで OK が出たわよ。
Ooh, conditional approval. Conditional, is it?
そう、条件。今のままではダメだけれど、昇級試験を受けて合格すれば OK よ。
Head officer examinations or Japanese branch examinations?
両方。いつまでも特務伍長ではいられないでしょ。少尉になったら予備士官に登録してあげる。
Tell me to go back to school yet again?
自宅から通えるように手配はしてあげるわよ。
What a pain in the ass.
あなたの強制任期はまだ1年半もあるわ。ゆっくり考えなさいな。
My current rank is 5th from the bottom of the table, and she's telling me to jump another 5. If it was just HQ's exams, it'd be absurd enough, but demanding I also pass the Japanese test for every rank is downright sadistic. If I keep working the way I am now, it'll take a decade of serious effort to hit that rank. Even if I renew my contract, accept this training course, can't see it ending in less than 7 years. Talk about delayed gratification. So that's how it is.
つまり、なんだろう、専門の学校に通うわけ
Probably, yeah.
じゃあ、転校しちゃうの
No, I'd be starting the new school in 1.5 years. In other words, after my graduation.
すぐじゃないんだ。
That's right. After graduating from here, I'll be going to a new school for about 7 years, I'd guess. Mind holding off on the marriage until after that? Well, of course you mind. Yeah, dumb question.
ユージが待ってろって言うなら待つよ。
Not that... No, that won't be necessary. I'll talk it over with the higher-ups. There are restrictions on marriage as well. Once my field term is over, things should ease up slightly. I doubt it'll be a problem.
本当？じゃあ、ユージがここを卒業したら結婚してくれるの？
Hey! Got that backward, Amane. I'm the one asking you. Please marry me.
わかった、する、結婚する。
Well, it's going to be a little while yet, but thanks. We'll make this work.
任せて。じゃあ、私はユージより1年早く卒業するから、その間に自分の仕事見つけておくよ。
A job? Why?
だって、ユージは卒業してもまた学生になるんでしょ？だったら、私が稼いで食べさせてあげる。
Well, even as a student, I'll be earning a 106,600 yen monthly stipend with a bonus twice a year. And from what JB tells me, the head office covers a certain percentage of housing costs and other living expenses, including an additional allowance for married employees.
じゃあ、私は専業主婦になればいいのかな？
If you want to work, I won't stop you. Shouldn't really be necessary though.
じゃあ、子育てに専念できるね。赤ちゃんの靴下を編む練習でも始めようかな。
I mean, sewing is a good skill to have. I have it. Think you're jumping the gun a bit on that one. By the way, I do not have sewing skills because I expected babies and stuff. I have sewing skills because I enjoy sewing. Just so you know. That, and I do like doing my own like little tailors if I need to like repair clothing because it gets ripped and stuff, which happened a lot as a kid, like all the time for me. As a kid, I used to like jump fences and stuff, like at school, like, you know, I used to jump fences and stuff with my friends, and you know, sometimes you get catch on something and it rip. Also, I knew how to take a tumble, like, without hurting myself too, which helped. But yeah, like, you know, so like, there've been plenty of times where like I patched holes, so yeah, it happens. It was fun running around all the time as a kid. I mean, it's fun doing it now too, but whatevs. Jumping the gun a bit, still a ways off. Those thoughts prove surprisingly transient. Time always passes more quickly than you expect. All too quickly, half a year had passed, and Amane graduated from Mihama Academy. That said, she immediately rented an apartment within walking distance of the school, so I didn't exactly have to go out of my way to see her. In fact, she made a routine of coming to the student dorm every morning, making breakfast for me and Makina, and passing us our lunch boxes. In the evening, we eat dinner at Amane's apartment. This pattern held for maybe a month or so. Soon enough, Makina grew irritated with the effort of walking between the dorm and Amane's building. After renting the room next door, she presented the school with an application demanding special permission to commute under the pretense of ensuring a secure living environment. Somehow, she forced Chizuru to sign off on it. I bet Makina's just like, yeah, I hoarded all this money from working my part-time job too, so I moved. Next door neighbors might not sound too bad, but in reality, Makina was soon virtually squatting on Amane's room again, just as when they'd been in the dorm together. Another year after that, this time it was my turn to graduate. As planned for some time now, I entered a special technical school specified by headquarters. In addition to the monthly written exams, my new student life involved irregular, sometimes completely unannounced physical fitness tests, often amounting to something like a very rigorous and painful game of musical chairs. At first I was living in Amane's room and commuting, but the daily travel on top of the grueling training proved too much. I rented a room near my new school's campus and returned to Amane on the weekends, a pattern that helped for some time. But after about 2 years of this temporary solution, Makina finally chirped, "When are you going to get married already?" Starlama and I looked into each other's faces. Having reached a mutual conclusion that it was in fact about time we got around to that, we were married soon thereafter, finally fulfilling our promise to each other. Yay! Not long ago, 5 years after my graduation from Mihama. After various trials and tribulations, I cleared the last of my required exams well ahead of schedule by virtue of my superb grades. At long last, I entered the permanent reserve, gaining a degree of freedom. For my day job, I chose to become a teacher at my alma mater, Mihama Academy. Hey, need a gym teacher or something? It had been years since we talked about this, and I asked half as a joke, but here I am, ready to teach a new crowd of Mihama students their English. Life works mysterious ways, as they say. Sorry, it looks like we're just gonna have a happy ending. Yeah, life is just full of mysteries. For example, why is Makina still a student here? That's probably number one on my list. What? It's been 5 years. Makina is now 20 years old, still a student. What? Okay, why is she still in Mihama?
知らなかったの？あの子、今年で8年生だよ。でも、来年は留年できないから、いよいよ卒業かな。
From what Amane tells me, Makina repeated her grade 7 times in a row, ending up something of a super freshman. By all rights, her age should be a serious problem, but Makina was so childish to begin with. Even now, it feels like her appearance has just caught up with the other girls.
あれ、ボバ太郎の音だね。Makina 帰ってきたかな？
But Makina probably is driving. She poached Bobotaro off you?
ああ、まあね。私はもう乗らないし、Makinaに免許取ったらあげるって言ったら、本当に免許取ってきちゃったんだもの。
Well, that happened.
ただいま！あまね！今日のおやつ何？おかえり、Makina。外から帰ったらまずは手を洗いなさい。おやつはそれからよ。
This girl's 20, guys. Remember, Makina's 20 years old. 20 years old at this point in time of this game, at this very moment. There's a reason Amane stopped riding her bike. Specifically because she's given birth to a child. Naturally, I had a hand in this. Makina, stop teaching weird things as a kid already.
こらこら、嘘を教えるな嘘を。っていうかあんた、落とさないでよ。大丈夫だってば。私だって昔の私とは違うのよさ。
Still wearing Yeah! The sex has happened, the baby's already born, yes. And Makina is still wearing mismatched color socks.
そう言いつつ、この前その子を肩車してて、天井の鴨居に頭をぶつけたの誰よ。
Their baby's gonna grow up to be dumb like Yuji.
私か。そうか、ごめんな。でも女の子はちっとぐれ頭悪い方がモテるんだぜ。
Yuji goes, by the way, this is not the Michiru roots, I doubt it. What? Don't be ridiculous. Women are all about cooking. As long as she can make a decent meal, she won't have any trouble finding a man to bring back the bacon. Please don't take care. Please don't take after your dad. Just saying.
その子まだ3ヶ月だよ。どんな子になるかなんてわからないわよ。
She'll be a beauty.
アマネのエロ遺伝子が組み込まれているのよ。きっとどうしようもないスケベ女に育つのよさ。
スケベ女。
ねえ、お兄ちゃん。もしこの子が突然ろくでもない男を連れてきて、この人と結婚するって言い出したらどうする？
The hell are you talking about? There's only one thing to do. Rip off my shirt and yell, "All right, bring it on, punk!"
そ それじゃうちのお父さんと同じじゃん。
Right, I beat the living hell out of your dad fair and square. Bride is something you win, not something you get. Oh my god! Really? Oh my god, that is great. And you're just like, yeah, I beat him up. I earned it. I earned that right. That's beautiful. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Oh, she might take after on Makina.
おかげでお父さん腰を悪くして3日ぐらいお店休んだんだよ。
He's the one who ignored your mother's approval and started shouting, "If you want Amane, you'll have to take her over my dead body." Sometimes words just aren't enough.
ほんじゃもしこの娘を嫁にもらいに来たアホがいたらぶっ飛ばすの？相手がアラブの石油王でも？
Well, I don't care what he does for a job, so long as he can protect my daughter no matter what. If you call yourself a man, then defend your woman with your life. Can't promise me that, go the hell home. No. If a spineless idiot like that has the nerve to even show up, I'll freaking kill him. For real.
殺すなよ。っていうか、あんたに勝てる男なんているの？それに、その子が好きだって言うなら、それでいいじゃない。
You're already turning into the classic overindulgent mother, you know that? But I guess you do have a point this time. I wouldn't completely ignore my daughter's opinion on the matter. She asked for my blessing. I asked her a question right back. Would you throw away your life for this man? If after a day passes her opinion still hasn't changed, I guess I might be able to sorrowfully approve of the marriage. Probably, possibly, maybe.
なんだその曖昧な後半。
I can see Yuji totally pouting over it for like a week. What's so funny?
なんか幸せだなってさ。ただそう思っただけ。
I see.
そう、すっごく幸せ。あんなことがあった私がこんなに幸せでいいんだろうか。そんな不安に時々襲われる。それでもこの人と一緒なら、ユージと一緒なら、きっと。
Oh, this feels very much good ending
と
me.
いつか私の罪や罰が許される日が来る。そんな予感がするの。やがて牧野も学園を卒業し、私たちの部屋から出ていくことになった。卒業後はドイツにある美術の学校に留学するとのことで、当分日本へは帰ってこないらしい。
Ooh, Makina taking a step forward.
いたらいたでうるさい子だけれど、いざいなくなるとなんだか自分の娘が出て行ったみたいで少し寂しい。美浜で仕事をしながら予備社員の仕事を続けていたユージも、ここ最近はめったに呼び出されなくなり、年に数日間の教官としての仕事をするだけになっていた。そんな予備社員の仕事もあと1年もすれば引退の時期らしい。
Oh, they're just phasing him out because they're like, oh, you know, you did your job.
結婚して20年。結局私はこの年になるまでユージがどこの会社で何の仕事をしていたのかを知らないでいる。
20 years? What?
別に知りたいとも思わないし、ユージは私との約束通りいつも無事に帰ってきてくれた。だったらそれでいい。それ以上は贅沢というものだ。ただユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて目を覚ますことがたびたびあって、それだけが少し気がかりだった。声をかければ何でもないとだけ答えるユージに無力感だけが残った。
Yuji's demons, huh?
そして気がつけばもう40年。
Oh, snap, she's old.
私ももうすっかりおばあちゃんだけれど、相変わらずユージと共に 穏やかな老後というものをそれなりに満喫している。
He still jogs like 10 kilometers every morning. Wait, what?
年とともにいろいろなものが穏やかになってきたのだろう。時間の流れさえ穏やかに感じられるようになり、そしてユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて何度も目を覚ますことがなくなった。
Oh man.
隣の布団で穏やかな顔で眠るユージを見て、この人の戦争はやっと終わったのだと、やっと地獄から帰ってくることができたのだと安心もした。そんな穏やかで静かな日々から半年後、ユージに癌が見つかった。痛くても苦しくても我慢してしまうユージのこと、発見した時にはすでに手遅れで、余命は5ヶ月と診断された。それでも私たちの生活に大きな変化はなかった。
It's kind of sad. It's like it feels very conclusive.
当たり前に生き、当たり前の毎日を送り、また当たり前の今日が来る。
It's also very happy because it's like
余命5ヶ月と診断されていたユージはまるで計算していたかのように、5ヶ月目の日曜日の朝、私たち家族に見取られて奇跡に入った。ユージも死んで、ただ一人残された私は、ユージが死に際に残した「まだお前の罰は終わらないぞ」との言葉を守り続け、その後も「ありがとう」を言い続ける余生を送る。ユージを失った生活も思ったほど寂しくはなかった。
oh.
目を閉じればユージと過ごした思い出が走馬灯のように
Hey, how's it going, Casey?
いくつも思い出すことができる。ユージとは何度も喧嘩はしたけれど、思い返せば全てが楽しい思い出で、出した食事に一度も文句を言われたことがないのが私の誇りだった。きっと私ももう長くはないだろう。もう思い残すこともあまりないけれど、いつでもまたすぐに会えると思えば、少しぐらいは待たせても構わないだろう。私は相変わらずそういうところで少しだけユージには意地悪なのだ。
Doing good, Casey. Finally getting the good ending for the Amane route in the Fruit of Grisaia here.
ユージが死んで5年目の夏、数えてみればあの人と出会ってから50回目の夏になる。
So she's 75 now?
東京で暮らす娘夫婦が一番下の子を連れて帰省した。久しぶりに見た孫の顔は幼い頃の私によく似ているような気がする。この子が生まれた時、ユージもなんだかお前に似ているなと言っていたっけ。きっと今年が最後の夏になる。そんな予感がしていた私は、義理の息子が運転する車の後部座席に乗って夏休みの旅行に出かけた。向かった先は、私が事故に遭って生き残った樹海が見下ろせる公園。 私の唯一の心残りといえば、風見和樹が私のために残したあの荷物だけだった。
Oh.
ここはあの頃とあまり変わらない。
Did they really change that place into a public park though?
もうここを訪れる人もあまりいないのだろう。現場へと続く山道はすっかりと荒れ果て、老いた私の足腰ではとてもではないけれど登っていけるような道ではなかった。入山を諦めた私は日の当たる場所に置かれたバス停のベンチに腰掛け、現場に向かって手を合わせる。目を閉じればまだあの頃のバスケ部の仲間たちの顔を思い出す。思い出す顔の一つ一つは今でも苦痛に歪み、怒りや悲しみをたたえている。みんなごめんなさい。そしてありがとう。こんなに長生きしてしまった私はいつになったら許されるのだろう。もう私に罰を与えてくれる勇士はいないというのに。和樹、私どうしよう。私一人じゃ答えが出せないよ。
ねえ、おばあちゃん。
Susanne. Yeah, she does really look like Amane.
なーに？
私のおじいちゃんってどんな人だったの？
It's cool.
そっか。おじいちゃんが死んだ時、あんたはまだ小さかったからね。でもどうして急に？
なんかね、おばあちゃんが元気ないみたいだからおじいちゃんの話をしてきなさいってママが言ったの。
Damn, when you have a perceptive daughter.
相変わらずだね、あの子も。変に気が回って不器用に優しいところはあの子はおじいちゃんに似たのかもしれないね。
おじいちゃんは優しい人だった？
Nope.
そうね。そしてとても臆病で勇敢な人だった。
臆病で勇敢？
臆病というよりは何事にも慎重で何でもよく考えて行動する人だった。そしてどんなに困難な状況であっても誰もが諦めてしまうようなことに直面しようとも何クソと立ち上がる勇気を持っていた人だったわね。
I'm sorry if I don't have like much commentary because it's just like, yeah, like ending like this, it's very hard to just like talk over.
覚えてないあんたに言ってもピンとこないか。
時々むちゃくちゃを言うけど優しいおじいちゃんだったのは覚えてるよ。
You'd say crazy stuff sometimes.
そっか。
おじいちゃんが死んじゃって寂しい？
どうだろうね。実はそれほどでもないけれどやっぱりどこかで寂しいと思っているのかもね。でもきっと私にももうすぐお迎えが来てまたおじいちゃんに会えるよ。若い頃は 死ぬのがあんなに怖かったのに、今はあんまり怖くないしね。
おばあちゃんは死ぬの怖くないの？
Nope.
怖くはないけれど、少し寂しいかな。
寂しいって何が？
そうね、私はきっと地獄へ行くんじゃないかなって、
This is,
そんな風に思うの。
you know how Susan said that her grandpa said crazy things, but was really nice? I think Amane is the same. She's a grandma that says crazy things, but is still really nice.
そこには多分知り合いはいなくて、だからそれが少し寂しい。
まあそれは大丈夫じゃないかな。5年間悪いことをしなかったら天国へ行けるんだって前におじいちゃんが言ってたよ。
Wow. Wow. They usually like predict her like clockwork.
そんな運転免許じゃあるまいし。っていうか、あんたそれ何を手に持ってるの？
これお守りだよ。昔ね、おじいちゃんの病院にお見舞いに行った時にもらったの。これね、どんな危機的状況でもこれを持っていれば必ず守ってくれるんだって。すっげえ効果あるからお前にやるっておじいちゃんがくれた。
Yep, that definitely sounds like something you usually would have said.
あの人まだそんなもの持ってたんだ。懐かしくもその小さな犬のぬいぐるみは昔まだ私たちが学生だった頃あの人に持たせたものだ。ところどころがほつれてはいても何度も修繕した跡がある。こんな子供じみたお守りをずっと大事にしてくれていたのかと思うと涙が出そうになる。
Up here is strongest for the stream. No tears for me.
さすがにもうボロボロだね。なんだか嫌な凄みが出てる感じ。
だから効き目がありそうなんじゃない？おじいちゃんはこのワンちゃんに何度も命を救われたって言ってたよ。
そんな話私には一度もしてくれなかったけどな。
It's because he liked teasing you too.
しまった。恥ずかしいからおばあちゃんには黙ってろって言われたの忘れてた。
Wrecked.
あの人らしいというかなんというか。
そうだ、おばあちゃんにワンちゃんのお礼するのも忘れてた。
お礼？
おじいちゃんがね、幸運の犬っころをやるからおばあちゃんにお礼をしろって言っててね。ちょっと待ってね。確かね、いつか渡そうと思ってお財布の中に入れておいたはずなんだけど、
なんだろう。何をくれるの？
I bet this is like Kazuki's memento, isn't it?
あったあった。はいこれ、おばあちゃんにあげる。
それは？
これはね、天国行きのチケット。
Really? Usually even went so far as to make a ticket to heaven and trust it to their granddaughter to give to Amane?
天国行きの。
そう、これさえあれば天国行き間違いなし。
ありがとう。
Oh, that's cute though.
おそらくは落書き帳の切れ端だろう。長方形の画用紙にはクレヨンでお花や動物の絵が描かれ、 あまり上手とは言えない文字が書かれている。
This is absolutely adorable.
年をとって老眼がだいぶ進行した私の目にも、そこにははっきりと天国行きと書かれているのが見て取れた。私は天国へ行ってもいいのかな。
どうして行ったらいけないの？おじいちゃんも待ってるよ。
そうなんだけどね。
大丈夫、きっともうみんな許してくれるよ。だっておばあちゃんはいい人だもの。
そうかな。
そうだよ、私おばあちゃんがいてくれて嬉しいもん。
Aww.
ね、おばあちゃん、私のおばあちゃんでいてくれてありがとうね。
Oh, that's adorable. King, don't ruin the fucking moment.
その言葉が嬉しくて、上手にありがとうが言える子に育ってくれたことが嬉しくて、こんな私にありがとうと言ってくれる存在が嬉しくて、私は涙が止まらなくなった。ありがとう。私も嬉しい。ありがとう。
Aww.
そしてユージもありがとう。私生きていて本当によかった。今私は救われたような気がします。いろいろなことがありました。いろいろなことに悩んだり、自分で自分を苦しめたりもして、決して穏やかだったとは言えない人生だったけれど、それでも決して悪い人生ではなかったなと思えるのは、きっとあなたが私と一緒にいてくれたからだと、今改めてそう思うのです。だから心からありがとうとあなたに言いたくて。
Hey, how's it going, Jose? Yeah, you're literally at the tail end, I think. Yeah, no problem with being late, though, man. I'm glad you could show up.
今私もそちらへ参ります。
Don't mind.
そうしたらまたいじめてくれるねえ、ユージ。
おばあちゃん、どうしたの？泣いてるの？なんだ、おばあちゃん笑ってるのね。よかったね、おばあちゃん。おばあちゃん、寝ちゃったの？
Oh, did she pass away?
孫の声が少しずつ遠くなる。見上げた青い空には白い雲。まるで手が届きそうなその雲の隙間に、懐かしい美浜の制服を着たあの人が、あの頃の若い姿のまま私を待ってくれていた。その姿に年がいもなく大声を上げて泣きそうになる私を見て、あの人は いつもの不器用な笑顔で笑ってくれた。あまねと呼ぶあの人の声に私は手を伸ばす。握り返したあの人の手はあの頃のままとても温かい手をしていた。それがとても嬉しくて、その手を取った瞬間、私はこれで全てが許されたのだとはっきりとそう感じた。
Oh. 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 Oh, that's so good. That was so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, and they're gonna have the... Oh, man. Oh my god, there's so much I want to say. There's so much I want to... There's so many thoughts I have right now. Holy crap, first of all. What is it, like 50 hours of gameplay? 50 hours of gameplay to get my first ending? And oh my goodness, was it well worth it. That was so good. It was written so well. The characters felt so alive. Like this entire time, like this game is just it freaking blows me out of the water. It was so good. I cannot believe it. Like oh my goodness, that was it was so adorable. I just can't, like, I can't believe it. Like, it's so good. That was so good. Like, and I know, like, I think they said that, what's it called? That Amane's route is the longest route, I believe. So, that was quite the route. And I was, you know, even though she wasn't my favorite girl, like, it was just really good. By the way, you guys probably not seen the ending. I just realized that it might be censored in the re-upload, so don't worry about it. It does it automatically. You have to play the game yourself to actually watch the ending, or actually, you know, go find it on YouTube on your own. But yeah, like this is probably all like, oh no, they're telling me what the other endings are. Don't worry, I'm actually ignoring it, so it's okay. So, it was really good. Yeah, like literally my live stream just went dark. Like it's, you guys aren't seeing anything. Yes, I will get every single ending in this game because it is really good. Like, and I know it's gonna be tough, but I think we're gonna start with the bad end next time for the Amane route. Which is probably all like, which probably just make everyone, including myself, feel terrible. Because it's called a bad ending, right? And then from there, we're gonna start going down the other characters' routes. With that said, I haven't decided what order, but I'm probably gonna do Sakaki's last. And I'm realistically going to do, the funny stuff isn't most of the others? Alright. I was gonna say, like, I'm definitely gonna do Sakaki's last. Now that it's come to this, I'm like, I'm probably going to do Sakaki's ending last. And I'm not sure if I really want to do the bad endings either. Like, I'll make a decision before next week. And you'll tune in and know whether we're going for an ending or we're Yo, yo, I'm gonna be honest. Without a shadow of a doubt, my next route I plan to do anyway, whether or not I do Amane's bad end or not, was gonna be Michiru. I am definitely 100% doing the Michiru route. I'm very much looking forward to it. To doing all the routes actually. You know, at first like I wasn't sure. Like, I was like, do I want to do like the Machina route even? But after playing through it, I'm gonna say, you know what? I think each of the girls deserve to get their endings. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do both endings, like, because I think every girl has 2 endings. So we will see when we get to that point. But it'll start with, it's obviously gonna start with Amane because you know, clearly I'm gonna do Amane's. I just did Amane's Good Ending, so I'll let you guys know. We'll see next week what we do for then. I just want to see if there's anything else at the end of the credits, but I'm waiting right now. I don't see anything yet. I'm just wondering if there's like one extra cutscene or something. That. Oh. Oh my god, it's not showing up to. Oh man. Oh, so I have to get all of the endings to understand the plot for the sequels. Okay, that's fair. Then yeah, then I think next week we'll start with the Amane bad ending, and then we'll jump into the Michiru one when we can. Is my screen back? We're back. Yup, the screen's back. Let's see. There is one last CG that I wanted to show off to you guys. It's this one. So that is the final. Certain plot sources. All right. I'll definitely go for it. But anyway, that's the final scene in the credits that you guys probably didn't see. I saw it. That's why I'm going back to it. But yes, oh my goodness, it was so good. Everything was so good, and we're gonna continue it. So, anyway. This is animefanrk2k. Thank you for joining me with. Yeah, isn't it really cute? It's Yuji and Amane both meeting each other in heaven. It's too good. Thank you very much for showing up for the Monday Night Livestream. We will do this again next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to kill anyone. And if you want to check out any of my other live streams, obviously, live stream at 7 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch, so you can check those out. But, yo, thank you very much. Thank you. You need a humor buffer. Yo, no, but seriously, guys, thanks for showing up. It was good. We started from, like, the lowest to the low point, just finishing the Amane flashback, and we went the full length and distance to get the good ending for Amane. So we have a bad ending to get, because messing stuff up is like, what? And then we get to start with my favorite Supergirl. So yeah, I think that's all I can say. All I want to say at this moment. So I will see you all. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.